All right. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully we are good to go and live and direct for this episode of the Goodison Park. We're going to be doing a preview and also be doing our best to make sure that you hear me and that we stay uh, in your area, which is what we need to do for today. We are also going to be doing some fun stuff today. Hopefully, you'll be along for the entire ride to enjoy this and to take part in what we are calling a farewell to Goodison Park. So, today we have Lee and we also have Brian as well. We are going to be utilizing some different settings today because I have my backup computer going for me right now. So, but I wanted to make sure that I got this episode in. It was something that I wanted to do originally before this anyway. And then, of course, we had that terrible weather that prevented us from really getting into this review and this game. But it's on the schedule now for tomorrow. And we're going to get into this. So welcome to another episode of Liberal 12th Man Show, like I said earlier. And today we have Brian. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Representing. I wasn't I just saw Red Armchair Supporters kind words. Thank you very much. Definitely. Definitely. That one was a very meaningful win. Super Bowl win is a big important win, of course. It's a very, very big important win, but it has some other significance. I'm not going to necessarily go into the other significance of it for me today, but being that we got the victory, it definitely played a special part for me. So I was unable to do the Monday show. I was definitely not in any parts able to do it. It wasn't because of the FA Cup game. Obviously, it was because of the Super Bowl win that we were predicted as being the possible losers in that game, or we're the underdogs, and we got into that game and we absolutely demolished Kansas City, made them look amateur-ish. It was revenge for last year's defeat to them. So big up to my Eagles. The city is still standing. I hear Philadelphia is still standing. It's doing its best to not get
just about.
Yeah.
R.I.P. traffic lights.
Yeah, traffic lights. Beware. So trust me, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Especially
Philadelphia.
red.
Yeah, Philadelphia has a unique way of celebrating, but a lot of cities do, especially the cities. We haven't really had that many championships, unfortunately, in Philadelphia, in the likes of whether it's baseball, whether it's hockey, whether it's been football. There used to be something called the William Penn curse. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not. So William Penn was the originator of, or not originator, it was the founder of Pennsylvania. And in Philadelphia, there is a building that has William Penn on it, and he's got his hat. And there used to be a law. I don't know if it was a wise tale or not, but used to be. At least I believe there was a law in Philadelphia that no building could be built higher than William Penn's hat, so that he could always see over the city. That was supposed to be what the tale was supposed to be connected to, and I believe, I forget what year it was, but they eventually did build a building above his hat. And after that, Philadelphia did not see a championship for a long time. And they called it the William Penn curse because, they had blocked his view of looking over the city. But little Philadelphia lore there. But eventually we did win the championship, obviously, and we've won a couple of championships in various sports. But yes, big up to all my brethren back home enjoying this Super Bowl win. I got my Philadelphia Eagles jersey on for the day, but underneath there's a Liverpool red at heart. So we'll get into that as well. Lee, how are you doing today? I didn't mean to interject that story and have you sit and wait before I give you a proper introduction. How are you
No, that's okay. It was interesting. It was interesting to hear. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I've got over the Plymouth defeat.
doing?
To be honest, it didn't really sting me that bad. I know I'm saying that now, but it's true. You can't keep it up on four fronts for the whole season. It's very, very hard. I'm not sure any team will do this quad anytime soon, if it's ever done at all, just because of the sheer just the amount of fixtures to keep it going. So something had to give. And I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. We're already in the League Cup final. I'm good with that, right?
Mm-hmm. You gotta be wary of that. We're gonna talk about that actually. That's one of the sections, one of the topics I wanted to bring up as well in today's show. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more in depth because it's very interesting how some are taking it, how our rivals, our neutrals are taking it as well. But we're gonna get into that a little bit before we completely dive deep into this Goodison Park showdown. So let's just get into it. Really, this is the preview, obviously, of that matchup. The Merseyside Derby is one of the very historic derbies. The last ever meeting, however, between Liverpool and Everton at Goodison Park is making it that much more symbolic, that much more of a bigger show that's being put on for us. So tonight's show, we'll review the FA Cup loss to Plymouth. We'll break down the nonsense surrounding our squad depth, predict both lineups. We'll highlight key players, and we'll give out some score predictions as well. Plus, we'll wrap up with the Merseyside Derby trivia challenge for you guys, a little pop quiz for the panel and our listeners. So with that said, let's just get into this. I initially wanted to, and let me make sure my camera's all straight here. Oh, there you go. I initially wanted to talk about this FA Cup loss. I really wanted to highlight that because, at first at least, because let's just, nip it in the bud, figure out what it is that we think happened. So the FA Cup exit, it sparked some discussion or some debate out there by neutrals, calling it rivals, especially calling it a disaster.
They're looking at our rivals.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately, I was going to put a clip for you guys to watch because I really wanted you to hear some of the perspectives that were going out there by some of our rivals, some of our neutrals. And I say neutrals, I guess, because I would never put Nottingham Forest as a rival in any way or matter of the word, but as of late, we all know I believe his name is Wolfie, is now a constant participant on the panels that we see, and he is certainly he has the art of troll in him, so to say the least. So he has put out there some parts and points that he wanted to bring up, and then there was a couple other guys out there on that panel, at least for that particular show, that were doing their best to kind of go at it. I mean, there was even a Spurs participant trying to tell us what are our expectations and how we don't know what we're doing this season, and how it was absolutely shambolic and absolutely not even a travesty, a disaster. There's so many different letters and words thrown in there because some of them weren't exactly words, I think, but all the same. But yeah, there's been a lot of different takes on it, and I definitely wanted to get into it. So let's just get into it. Liverpool played with a heavily rotated squad, obviously. I'd say easily out of the entire squad, maybe the only real starter amongst them was Lucho on that squad. key players were missing from even being a possible selection on the bench. So that was something to be noted. Oh, let me make sure I can get this here. All right. And also, as I was saying, but Plymouth played the game of their lives yesterday. Let's just keep, or 2 days, or for the FA Cup at least. They played their game of their lives on that Saturday fixture. They were fortunate to get a penalty that ended up resulting in them getting obviously the lone goal in that game. But one bad cup result doesn't define a season. What matters now is how we respond, and this squad has shown time and time again that it bounces back from setbacks. I'm going to say let the thirsty neutrals and the beyond thirsty rivals out there do their talk, enjoy their moment of having some type of leg up to do for some banter. But we're still focused on these main subjects. And I wanted to hear what the panel thought about what you've been seeing and hearing, if you've been listening to some of the other channels and likes trying to get at us because of this FA Cup loss. And big up JK, he's joining us as well. I'll start with you, JK, since you're just joining us as a hello, and also to see if you have an answer for that question.
God bless, bro. Hope you're cool, Lee, Brian. Bro, I think the game on Sunday was it wasn't as bad as everyone thinks, you know. Like, you just knocked the nail on the head. One game don't show what we've done all season. Like, that game was just a number of things, but there was enough good players on the pitch to win us that game, to keep that flow going. Like, for me, the media and social media are gonna hype up that game so much, you know. They were even showing it live, a replay on YouTube after the game. They showed the whole game. They rerun it. Say if you want to the whole game again, it's there. So it's just giant killing, bro. They love that sort of thing.
Right.
But for me, come on, we play them again tomorrow. There, we're winning. You know, imagine we did take Salah, McAllister, Gapco, and all these guys. Yeah, we would have won the game, but we would have been peed off that they're all playing that game, and they've got Everton tomorrow. So can't win, and you can't. You know what I mean? You can't win in any other situation. If you weren't rested, they would have moaned he weren't rested.
Right.
You know, if we lose, we didn't have Salah there or Gapco, so it's our own fault. You know.
Right.
But for me, tomorrow, bro, that's a whole different ball game. Tomorrow is the derby. Rerun of last season's game, 2-0 away, we lost. There's only one thing answer for that: revenge, bro. Get into the game quick, get them 3 points, and get the hell out of there.
Okay. How about for you, Lee? How about for you? What were your thoughts?
I took it in good faith. All the slander against us yesterday after the Plymouth result. They were really going for it, and I found it okay. I was having a laugh with it, like in the main, as long as they kept it to football. So yeah, let them have their moments in the sun there. As for tomorrow night's game, yeah, we've got to start quickly. We can't let them get into the game. You know what I mean? We've got to impose ourselves on the game from the first whistle in this derby. Like, because if we don't, we'll be sorry.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to start quickly, definitely. Like, gonna have to have a quick start tomorrow. Can't be, having a slow start in the derby. Be having that like in the derby. You got to be on it from the first whistle.
You definitely do. And for you, Brian, have you been hearing some of these things on the? I know you don't necessarily bother yourself with a lot of that, but I'm sure you've heard it maybe here or there in a show, or maybe even on maybe someone on your own show or something.
Well, just what I said stands after the game. Just basically what honestly put it in there. The slot quote. It's unacceptable, terrible. You know, we all said when we were looking at it, going, oh well, look, a lot of changes, but that front three, all the rest of it. But Plymouth, like you said, they played. That was the first thing I said. Is you have to give props to them. They played superbly. But I think so. I won't change my mind on that to defend the club against some.
Mhm.
I leave. Yeah, you guys are out there at the forefront doing that. It's just there is a little bit of a vibe around it. Like I know they're absolutely shocking, right, this season, and we were talking about it before, but there is a little bit of kind of people are acting like these guys are in division or in League Two. It's I think like they're in the championship. Okay, they're having it, but they're some people are kind of acting like this is a League Two team. We're
Mhm.
a League Two team. So if you make the changes you make and they have a good strong team like that. So yeah, I think some of it is being overblown a little bit. But like Lee said, you're never going to win a quad. Statistically, people don't win quads. So
Mhm.
something's going to happen somewhere. So it's just you take it, and it's how you deal with it. A
Right.
lot of those guys won't start a game again this season because the opportunities have disappeared now up in smoke for a lot of them. So
Yeah.
you're just going to see a lot of first 11s now, Champions League games until we, you know, if we're super lucky and we have this league wrapped up with 3 or 4 games to go, then you'll start seeing some changes. But until that happens, it's a League Cup final, Champions League knockouts, and a title run in. So there ain't going to be many more opportunities for guys to get starts. They got a
Mhm.
start on Sunday, so yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of shot themselves in the foot there a lot. But like Lee said, let them do their thing. But we'll be back stronger. We'll be as long as we take home that league title. No one's going. Oh, but what about Plymouth? Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
Plymouth, great. But we
Mhm.
won the league.
Mhm. Yeah. It's really, really wild because there was a lot of different takes out there, and that's why I was trying to get the vibe or get what you guys are thinking about. Because there's parts and points that I'm sure initially not many of us were saying, "Oh yeah, Liverpool's going to win the quad." Now, did I myself think that we had an opportunity or a chance? I think we have a chance every year that we go in. I mean, every team has a chance to win the quad until you're knocked out of it, obviously. But um, but being that we were still in all 4 competitions, sure, you have a feeling or you have a vibe. You think that you think and hope, and surely were. I think most of us were surely under the presence that that team yesterday or on Saturday. I keep saying yesterday, but Saturday. Um, that team should have been able to handle Plymouth. Absolutely. There's no taking into account the field or something, the poor pitch or something, or taking into account that it was a road game, or taking into account that there was only a handful of youth academy players. Most of them were season set of senior players from our team. And albeit, just as Brian just said, there's going to be a lack of playing time for a lot of those players now that they would have received by being in the FA Cup, by being obviously the League Cup they've already received their allotment, you could say, of games from the League Cup, because now we're going into a final for the League Cup. But for the only other competition that they're probably going to be given that opportunity for is going to be either the FA Cup or in a situation where there's an injury or something or the likes, and they're called on to duty as that. Other than that, these players are players that are just that, fringe players at best, some of them, that are going to be utilized for whatever role they're asked to be utilized for. And providing rotation is something that we hope we can see and choose from. But let's be honest, like as in a lot of the different perspectives out there, whether it was from, because Gal was going off, that guy is funny. But and shout out to him for him trying to at least, I guess, spin it one way or another in a favorable light for his own team, and at least give his team some type of hope. But there's the Gals, there's the Wolfies, there's, oh goodness, I forget the guy's name, and he's actually a pretty decent name amongst the Spurs brethren. He was the guy that was saying I was singing he was making up songs after their loss to not only us, but I think he was also like making like rap songs or R&B songs too. It was pretty wild.
The bump and grind mix.
Yeah, he was he's doing songs about his coach and how he's a fraud and how he's this and how he's that. And I was like, okay, man, we see, we get who's hurt you. We understand that. But it's just kind of wild that we have a situation like that. And I saw like even Dan Thomas, who's like a host for ESPN FC, had a very heightened and enlightened version of the importance of this loss, apparently. And I'm just like, okay, we get it. We lost to a team we shouldn't have lost to. Absolutely. But we now, like anything and everything, that game is behind us. I'm not going as far as to say we have bigger fish to fry. I don't want to say that because the FA Cup is a very important tournament. It's obviously something that we want to win. It's obviously something that we'd like to set our eyes on winning. However, it ended up being the situation where we were knocked out. Ends up being the situation also that ends up being, we can bring up that question in a second. I didn't get to see it. You'll have to read it out for me up though. But I would say this too. It is a little bit of a silver lining in that we would have to have played City possibly in that next round of the FA Cup. And that would have just put even more of a stress test on this team. We obviously went with trying to figure out a way to give the majority, if not the entire, pretty much starting lineup a needed rest for the next game that we have tomorrow. But I didn't really want to. When I saw us saw Plymouth get City, I was like, all right, that's one game I don't want to necessarily have to deal with, to tell you the truth. And just being honest. And and also on top of that, Manchester City right now 1-0. They have a 1-0 lead in their game, 28 minutes in, against Real Madrid. So it's just something I just wanted to necessarily deal with. But what is Don? Yeah, go ahead, JK, and then if you can read out Honesty's question if you can for us. But go ahead.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Like for me, bro, like in any situation in football, there's a good side and a bad side. You might have won 4-0, but you got 2 injuries, that sort of thing, The game the other day, the only bad side I've seen about the game the other day, it was that it won't give certain players game time now for the rest of the season. You knocked the nail on the head when you said now, or was it Brian actually? Brian said it where it's full strength FC now. Every game, the lineup is going to be full strength. It ain't going to be, let's try this or let's try this. So for me, that's the only reason why I was a little bit annoyed with us leaving the FA Cup. Because for me, it gave opportunities to Elliot, Chiesa, give them game time, something to focus on as well, something to use to get into the first team, in big games with the Champions League, extra time, or whatever it is going to happen in the future. So for me, more games. We had the squad to handle it, even if we had to mix it up with the youth players. I just wish that we stayed in the FA Cup for that. I'll read Honesty's question. Why does the guy keep saying we are lucky with injuries? Does he suffer from memory loss?
Yes.
No, if you know Jota, no Alisson, Trent. So why is he on about? It's not my fault, Arsenal.
Yes. Absolutely great point, Honesty. That was at least Igal's take on it. And what's very unique about that is that he doesn't recognize the sheer fact that, and this is something why I say he's trying to, give his team a little bit of hope, of glimmer of an opportunity or chance. He's trying to take any knock or any misstep that he sees this team, Liverpool, I'm talking about at least, any misstep that this team makes, he's trying to make the most of it to try to, bring about some type of glimmer of hope for his team. And I can understand that. That's something that we all would do. And it's something that even sometimes I do. And I'll openly admit that. But I also know that what's unique about his take is that he tried to reference us having the last 2 years, it being a case where we were that he doesn't recognize that they were fortunate to not have the injuries that they have this year. Okay. And because of such, we had to deal with those things. We came up short 2 years in a row in title races for ourselves and the likes. And if you do look at it, the numbers do say that honestly, for the most part, we had more injuries. We had more times of starting 11 players out. It had the whole likes in 9. And why it's disingenuous what he's trying to say this year, at least, is especially the part and point that we were in first place before they got the injuries. So it's not a matter of we got into first place because City have had an injury or two, or because 2 key players, or because Arsenal has had an injury or 2 to key players. We've been in first place before those injuries occurred. And we've continued to push on throughout the entire year. So that's why that statement's not even disingenuous. It's just a matter of it's dishonest. It's like it doesn't make sense as to why you'd bring it up. But this is what you're going to have to deal with. These are the things and places that we're going to have because of this unfortunate loss. And that's what it was. It was an unfortunate loss. And it's something that maybe we can just push past and recognize the fact that it's not a matter of bigger fish to fry. It's a matter of this coach, and this is more perspective before we move on past this one little part and point. I'll say this. I can agree, or at least I can ascertain that this coach most likely went in with his bosses telling him, we want you to get to we want you to get to a cup final and to compete for a Premier League title, if not Champions League title as well. Those are probably, for those that play FIFA or Football Manager or Championship Manager, I think it's called. It used to be called, or something like that. In the beginning of the year, they give you your highlighted things that you have to accomplish for the board to continue to back you as a manager. Okay. And I'm sure that those were priorities that were set forth for the aspirations of the club and the team and for what they're putting on this coach. This coach got us to a League Cup final with another adjusted, with a somewhat adjusted roster. The one that he went into that League Cup matchup against Spurs. And that's a Premier League team. Let's keep it real. Then on the reverse fixture, he still had a somewhat adjusted roster that he brought out in that game as well. But all the same, we ended up demolishing Spurs with no hesitation to say that. And now with that FA Cup match that followed that matchup, he took the opportunity to say, I'm going to heavily rotate, which he told us he was going to do. And he's going to continue to have more of a focus on that Everton match. And that's just the simple facts. Does anyone see it differently, or do you think that what I've said is maybe not exactly accurate for what you believe was Arne Slot's prime directive, I guess, this year? And that is obviously to win all the cups would be incredible. Win every competition you're in is obviously a bonus, but I don't think anyone really necessarily even puts that on you. But go ahead. We can.
No investment. With no investment, it would just be Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Just qualify for Champions League. Yes, season expectations. You hope for a few runs in the cups, but yeah, the only thing they'd be putting on him first season, new manager, I don't think really even they'd have to put it there. I think he'll kind of know it's sort of, the minimum expectation would be qualify for the Champions League.
Mhm.
Just don't. That's the main thing. As long as we're in that, you're fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, and all the rest comes after it. Yeah, he said himself afterwards. Like, I think he got the memo that the kind of the attitude he had after the game was a bit more kind of say la vie, whereas the attitude this morning, I think it was maybe put to him last night, was a lot more. Oh no, this is unacceptable. This is
Yes,
no. We
yes.
should have. It was very different to after the game. So I think whether he was privately saying kind of, well, like what we're all thinking, like you can't back and win every competition. It's just statistically 10,000 to 1. You're gonna have to play every game to you're gonna get knocked out of something at some point, basically.
Right.
So
Right.
I'd rather get knocked out of the champ or the Plymouth game than get knocked out in the next round of the Champions League.
Mhm.
So but you could see maybe the PR people that were saying, well, you actually might need to come out a bit more strongly saying, oh no, totally unacceptable. And you could
Mhm.
see that this morning. And I
Mhm.
thought that was interesting.
I agree with that
That
completely. I agree with that completely.
Adelante.
Yeah, yeah. Can you bring him? Yeah, can you bring him? Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I think that the like I said earlier, or not earlier, but when we were in the reaction video, when he was like we were watching the preview, or at least the him saying his remarks and this stuff, and he was kind of like laughing and joking a little bit. I was like, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny at all. This was an absolute disgrace of a match, and it's a disgrace result, and you should look at it as such. Is the world over? Absolutely not. But to
Be angry about it for 5
yeah, you
minutes.
got to be angry about that. And so don't have a nonchalant take of any competition that we're in, because that's not the mentality nor perspective that I think any Liverpool fan, much less any Liverpool person that says they support Liverpool in one way or another, would ever even say, or at least should be saying. I know that there are some who are saying they don't care, they don't whatever, the FA Cup or something along those lines. I don't understand. They say the same about the League Cup sometimes too, which is I don't understand that either. But again, it's just something where, yeah, take every competition is important to us. You best believe every competition is important for us. And I think you're right. He did have a different like energy, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
in his next in his like I mean that one the one that I'm speaking on was his press conference right after the game.
It's pretty much
Uh,
cold.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure someone probably pulled him aside and said, "That's not how we
Yeah.
do things here."
We need a bit more energy on that. Yeah, definitely. You could see the change. Bit more fist banging on the table kind of energy. This is not acceptable. This won't do.
Mhm.
This is what the fans want to hear
Yeah.
about.
And also, it's the first time he's really sort of been in that situation since he's been with us. Yeah, we lost to Forest, but Forest have been doing all right. They're in the Premier League.
Mhm.
He hasn't felt this before, and the thing is, he's sort of gonna react the way he would without realizing what he needs to really say and stuff. Later on, when he's probably got home, read through social media posts and that this here, there, and everywhere, people taking the mickey. He's gonna think, oh, we should have won that game. So yeah, I think I see it like that. But at the end of the day, if the reason why I wasn't going to go on a mad one on that one is because we're already in the League Cup final. So one game, win that, we've got a trophy. And then the Champions League and Premier League are, for me, high status. The FA Cup was the least out of the four I was putting all my heart into. Yeah, come on. We got Plymouth away. I'm thinking, yeah, who we got next then after that? You know what I mean? And it worked like that. So, bit of a shock and stuff, but tomorrow's game is going to be totally different. There's going to be different clientele on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
Virgil will be there, Salah, Alisson, everyone's going to be there tomorrow. So what to lie, everyone, man.
It was certainly a shock result. I don't think any of our supporters were expecting it. I know I wasn't. When we drew Plymouth away, I thought, yeah, we're through. But yeah, it just wasn't to be. But as we said, it's hard to keep it up on four fronts. And if there was one place we were going to fall short after already reaching the League Cup final, it would be the FA Cup. In my own mind, like, you know, I was okay with it once it actually happened. But I know what you mean about, to be honest, I haven't actually seen his interviews, but or the game. But I heard that he weren't impressed with his first efforts, like immediately after the game.
Yes, sir, certainly.
I don't know who Lucky Sixth is, but it's a new name. So thank you for
big up.
being here. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion. That still don't sound right. I don't know, but I'm sure you do.
I do. That's our quarterback.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. That's the surname of one of the players.
Yeah, his last name. His last name is Hurts.
Oh yeah, congratulations, 12.
Yeah,
the win
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
He put the hurt on Kansas.
Yeah, exactly. He puts the hurt. There's a reason why.
He
puts the hurt. He did. He did. He put the hurt on Kansas City yesterday. That's why. So is our defense, but Patrick Mahomes was not stellar at all. We made him look beyond average yesterday. Beyond average. We put the hurt on Patrick Mahomes.
You make him look non-league. You made him look non-league,
Yeah. Definitely. He was looking like dazed and confused. But yes, it is something of a different tone, definitely. And then I'd also even go as far as like, do you believe in this whole, from what a lot of those guys were saying, at least in that the gaslighting, I guess you could call it, of the Liverpool squad depth myth? And like, because a lot of those guys, like I spoke on different individuals, whether it was Wolfie or it was some of these guys, I'll be honest with you, I do not know of their names. I don't necessarily have subscriptions to their channels, and they most likely have subscriptions to our channel. So that's why it is what it is. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. But a lot of these guys, you know, they have their own channels for their own teams, and the panel was full of and this panel in particular I saw is on a channel that has a similar name as myself and ourselves, I should say, and that is it's the 12th Man channel, it's called. And yeah. And the host of that is an Arsenal supporter, and he had a whole host of particular people on there. He had Chelsea, he had Manchester United, he had a Spurs commentator, he had Errol from Redman TV on this episode, which is very interesting because no, I appreciate Errol. He's I like the majority of what he has to say, and but everything, you're not going to agree with everything everyone has to say. So big up to him. And he did it. I thought he did an excellent, actually a very well and measured job against taking on the trolls on that station and channel, because let's just be honest, a lot of them sounded, I would say, I'm not trying to make sure I don't use any inappropriate words, but they just seemed thirsty. They seemed like very thirsty.
Oh yeah.
And that's just the way it came down to. I mean, like, they're sitting there talking about your squad depth and your squad's this, and you should have went into the January window and gotten. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wow, that is incredible how much attention and time that you serve towards the good nature or the good nature of my own team. Like, I've never met someone that's so involved and so engaged in what we need to do as a team, as opposed to listening to what your team should be doing in that January window, or even in this run for the Prem, for Champions League, of which some of those people that were yapping away aren't even a part of. You know, you got what was it on? I think it was American Waffle that's now taking a different angle on approach towards the format. Now it's being hosted by an Arsenal guy, but even on there, you have these Chelsea guys, you know, like speaking as if they're in the Champions League. I'm like, wait a minute, you're not even in. Yeah. Wait a minute. You're not even in Europa. You're like, come on, wait a minute. Like, you're in you're in
Chelsea fans. Oh my
Chelsea
days.
fans. Yeah. Chelsea fans
In the conference.
yeah, they're in the conference league and they're sitting there like talking about, yeah, we're gonna win the conference league. What do you got to say about? I'm like, really? Is that where we're going? Is that what we're doing right
Is that
now?
where we're at right now?
Yeah,
Come on.
that's where we're at. Okay, okay. I just want to make
I
sure.
always say this: the worse the team, the louder their fans.
Yeah,
Let's leave it as that.
yeah.
Man City fans are not really loud when you really look at it, but Tottenham fans, Arsenal,
Yeah.
United, Chelsea, they're pretty loud.
Yeah, it was LB though that was trying to go on and on about the LB is a Manchester City fan, and I mean, albeit there's only I think we could probably count the actual Manchester City fans, not those that are the bandwagon type, but the ones that watch football long before Manchester City ever got their new ownership group to own their team. But they certainly weren't Manchester City fans before that. But all the same. There are some, I'm not calling LB that because I think LB was a fan before that, I think, or something along those lines. And he was up there trying to gaslight and say about the squad and the depth of it and everything else. Look, it's wild because at different points of this season, our team has been without, and let me just go down this whole line. We've been without our number one goalkeeper, Alisson, as our keeper. We've been without number one Real Madrid target, okay, Trent Alexander-Arnold, on and off periods without him being in the lineup. We've been without Robertson, for some and for others, maybe not so much for others, but for some, our starting left back. We've been without Ibu. We've been up with Konate in this lineup, and it's been arguably the connection of one of the best center back pairs in the league. Has not had to have his currently preferred partner as an option. We've been out Dominic Szoboszlai this year. Arguably someone that I've said is a very important necessity to our lineup. I think it's certainly a different interpretation on our 10 or a 10 in general, but is someone that I've been definitely campaigning to try to enlighten some people out there as to how important Dominic is for our team and what he brings and everything else to the team, despite the fact that he wasn't scoring the goals that people were referencing as being the key part and point of his game. That is the reason why he isn't Liverpool level, isn't Liverpool quality, is on the verge of being shipped out, whatever. Beyond that, we've been without Diego this year. Diego Jota has been our starting number 9. He's been our starting striker from the very beginning from the very first kickoff. But there's been gaps in his presence for us this year. And you could even say there's even been an occasional spot here and there when we haven't had Salah in our starting lineup, but certainly not to the extent where it's been like an injury concern or something along those lines, to be a lengthy injury concern at least. But despite that, the team is still in the title race. We're still going for we're still the top of the league in Champions League, and we're about to go to a Carabao Cup final. We've had obviously time. And I didn't even begin like some of those key players too. Some key backup players, if you want to call them that, weren't a part of our squad too as well. And that's Elliott, that's Bradley. And we've seen the importance of especially a Bradley as of late, who's going to most likely be a starter in this next Everton matchup. I just can't emphasize that the results speak more for themselves than possibly some of these rivals and some of these chicken littles amongst our own fan base want to necessarily accept and appreciate. Is it going to be easy sailing? Absolutely not. We've got a very, very important 5-game fixture list coming up ahead of us. And obviously that starts off with this Goodison Park matchup. We're going to go into a deep dive into this as well and get into it. We're going to give you a little bit of like some of the key parts and points, some injury updates. So let's just transition into that, because I just want to make sure that we just leave this nonsense behind us with the whole like this lineup, this squad is the squad that we have. Let's just move on. Summertime, we can talk about additions, subtractions, the likes from it, but this is the squad that we have. I'm willing to get behind and pause if you need to necessarily say that. I'm willing to fully support this squad because this is the squad that we have. And if anything, this is a squad that we're going to get hopefully across the line with our support. So that's how I'm looking at it. And this next matchup is an important one. Let's just be honest with you, because we are now preparing for some obvious intensity that's going to be on possibly the pitch coming from Everton, but certainly coming from the stands, knowing how much they love to see be a thorn in our side, and that is Everton. But I'm going to give you a little breakdown on what Slot had to say and what Brian was speaking on. Also, we're going to get some comments from the panel. Slot emphasized that he understands the unique atmosphere and challenge posed by Everton, especially when they lack technical quality, but compensate what he referred to, and I think a lot of us will refer to as fight and possibly belief, if they want to call it that, maybe from last year's result, because that's what he certainly referenced. He referenced last season's loss at Goodison Park, and now with this FA Cup exit to Plymouth, he's been noting key lessons on game control and composure that we might see emphasized in this next matchup. Do you agree with a lot of what Slot has had to say? And I'll bring in Alante since he's just joining us now. I'll see if he comes off mute. Okay. So do you agree with the sense that hopefully he's picked up some key lessons on game control and composure, and is going to emphasize that to this lineup that we're going to be prepared to bring against Everton in this next match?
Good evening to all to chat. Can I, if you don't mind, can I just address one comment,
Yeah.
if that's okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, just bear me a second. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back to the comments.
Uh-oh.
Look, right.
Somebody in trouble.
Yeah. I just saw something that and again, he's a good guy, but I just want to even need just look, Helia. So I'm just hi, Law. So hi, Law. Yeah. So you're saying about people and the realistic expectations, and again, and this is the problem, hi, Law, dismissing the FA Cup because we would have played Manchester City. The FA Cup is worth it. It was not worth it. Now, hi, Law. Look, with all due respect. Now, you're like, obviously, I'm not like I've been dealing with some idiots, but that's nothing to do with you. So that's fine. But if you're saying the FA Cup is not worth it, then tomorrow's game's not worth it. Or the next game is not worth it. What is the point? What's the point of Liverpool being in 4 competitions? What's the point of Liverpool playing the first game of the season? And this is the thing, and this is the problem. I'm hearing Liverpool fans dismissing it, saying, you know who says we have bigger fish to fry? Arsenal fans. They done it last season. What did we win, Jack? We were in 4 competitions last season. What did we win? Just the Carabao Cup. So I don't get this arrogance that we've got. We're defined to win the Premier League. We've got to guarantee the Premier League is guaranteed. The Champions League is guaranteed. Let's be serious now. Nothing is guaranteed. So let's stop copying Arsenal fans saying we have bigger fish to fry, dismissing the loss. That we would have played Man City. So what? The Liverpool teams of the 70s, their 80s. Do you know how many games they played? Do you know?
Yeah.
Did any of them say, "Oh, you know what? Oh, it's this team"? No. Big teams, Real Madrid, Juventus, Barcelona, all these teams, they play games because winning breeds confidence. What do you do as a professional footballer? You want to win as a football team. You want to football. You don't dismiss it because we are not guaranteed. Because if I see this, then if we don't win the league, if we don't win the Champions League, what are you guys are gonna say then? Some of you are you gonna say, "Oh, you know what? It is what it is," and then we're gonna come back to this, and it was the FA Cup is a blessing. We don't know that. Nothing is guaranteed. So let's not stop copying the Arsenal fans and respect the position we have, and let's see if we get there. Everything is not finalized.
So, all right. So I will say this too, because I think what Hyler might be saying might be similar to what I was just saying about the fact that we end up getting. I did mention we end up getting City or Plymouth end up getting City. Hypothetically, if that had been, if this taking, I mean, who knows? Maybe it would have been a different time branch or something, and then we don't get City. But being Plymouth got City, if the winner of the Plymouth Liverpool game, let's just say hypothetically was going to be us, or hypothetically was us, and we ended up getting that matchup against City, I think what I was trying to perspect is the fact that would I say, oh well, let's just throw that game away or not care about who goes in? No, if anything, we're not possibly going to have even the remote luxury of what we had against Plymouth, in that we would certainly have to play a much more unrotated squad against the City. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't have wanted to win the FA Cup. Certainly I would have said, well, we're going to have to do what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to play this a less rotated or more of a starting lineup style squad against City in that next round of the FA Cup. And we wouldn't have had the luxury of what we had to do against Plymouth. But all matters said, that team against Plymouth should have won. Yeah. That team should have still beaten Plymouth. And the sheer fact that they didn't is something of not only, hopefully, as Brian spoke on it, a wake-up or reality call to the coach, because, the coach brought into that team I didn't necessarily have a problem with the squad that he had on the pitch, but I had a problem with the fact that he brought only really two senior options, and one of them told him that he couldn't even play in that game. That's an issue. If you put so much attention and emphasis on the FA Cup, which I agree with you, Nalante, I definitely want to win all competitions. So therefore, Slot not bringing a comparable bench that has actual, even Pep did it. Pep said a very, very, I wanted to bring up the quote, or at least the clip, because he says it in the beginning of his interview. Pep Guardiola was interviewed after his FA Cup matchup in a game which they were down in and nearly lost, or could have lost. And he was asked about the question about the FA Cup, and he said he knows what an FA Cup means. He knows what an FA Cup game, despite the opponent, is going to bring. I think, if anything, that Plymouth game is an absolute wake-up call to Slot to not take any game, whether it's FA Cup, League Cup, especially not Champions League, and especially not Premier League. Don't take any game that Liverpool is in as being a walkover. You have to bring a comparable team. Go ahead. Someone else want to say?
Oh, sorry, JK. Did you want to say something?
Yeah.
No, I agree with what 12 just knocked the nail on the head right there, man. I wouldn't say it's that serious. This whole situation. I think this game's been blown out of proportions in a way. Why? We don't lose.
We don't.
So when we do, they're going to jump on it.
Yeah. I think it's 1994 is the last time this happened.
We got Marianne.
Bless Marianne.
The last time the tops or a team in the first place in the Premier League, I believe, lost to a team at the bottom of the championship level. It was 1993-94, I believe. Was the last time.
So a long time ago. Yeah, it's
long
an
time
upset.
ago.
It is an
20
upset, but the
even
FA Cup
worse.
needed that.
Go
It's
ahead.
even worse than that. It's even worse than that. It's the last time a team that was top of the Premier League lost, top of the league Premier League, lost to a team that was outside the Premier League, even if they were second in the championship.
Mhm.
So
that's bad. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, again, I think what Brian said was spot on. I can't agree more. And I think that his tone and everything else in the next interview was a different tone, because that's unacceptable. Like, as in, he's someone, he knows of the FA Cup, I'm sure, but he doesn't understand. But Slot didn't necessarily put that much of importance on it, possibly. Excuse me. Under the pretense that he did not have some I don't know, but killers. What's the word I'm looking for? He didn't have some
more than Nunes on the bench.
Yeah,
professionals.
Some
professional operators.
Like, and Pep made the reference about that in his interview. Which was very interesting. Like, as in, this was Pep after the immediate tone and understanding after an FA Cup game. He was like, heck no, I know what I was going into. I know it was going to be tough. He's like, I know all FA Cup matches are tough. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, sure, long enough. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows the parallels between this and if you want to move on. I just think, and I'll get to what I mean, but the parallels between that Plymouth game and this Everton game are huge to me. There's a huge amount of, outside of the tactics and all that, common factors that go into this game. So, and a lot of what you're saying about that, I think, also applies to this game. So,
yeah.
If you want to ask,
no, we can. No. Yeah, I have another. We have another topic. I know I'm going to bring it up in a second. I just want to let Nalante. I know I was kind of responding to what Nalante had to say, because I think that's what Hyler, at least that's what I was trying to emphasize by me saying, you know what, Manchester City's next. You know what, and that would have been a fixture that we most likely would not have seen, even maybe two or three. We would probably saw two or three of those people play in that game that started against Plymouth, because you can't do that against City, but again, and that would have been another fixture in a very, very, very difficult patch that we have of games that we have coming up.
Yeah, that we can use this defeat, even though most of the the players weren't playing, the regular players weren't playing. We can use it, as a bit of motivation. Look, we've lost one here. Got to make up for this. I hope a little bit of that can be employed, like before the game against Everton.
Yeah. And that's all I was the perspective. Go ahead, Nalante. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I'll just say quickly. Sorry, I know you're onto the next subject. Apologies, but all I'm gonna say is this: in terms of playing Man City, that doesn't matter. Who knows? Who knows who would he have? Who knows what team it would have played? Because at the end of the day, when we went for all four trophies, there's no complaints of who was playing. There wasn't no complaint of tiredness. In the end, we let it slip. We bought. I mean, in my opinion. Again, everyone has different. In my opinion, we bottled it, and it wasn't to do with tiredness or rotation. We had the chance to win all four, and we were there, but we just didn't take two games, and we didn't take the advantage. So again, and that's my only point. Whether we play City, Exeter, it doesn't matter. No one knows. No one knows. Who knows? We could have got to the final. I just don't like the dismissive, and from some Liverpool fans, just it's fine, one less game, and it's a guarantee that we're going to win everything. No, we're still in a step game by game process, starting with tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. So it's like Arsenal fans do that. I remember, like I said, I was watching the overlap. I was telling in the other chat. The overlap, and then was it Gareth Roberts from the Anfield Wrap is saying we've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, well, I heard
Yeah,
him
we
say
got
that. That was
that's an Arsenal saying, and
yeah,
I'm
that's
it's
stupid.
getting on my nose that Liverpool fans, some Liverpool fans are turning to Arsenal fans. We've got bigger fish to fry. No, we're not bigger fish. We've got other competitions. We are not guaranteed. I repeat, we are not guaranteed to win. We're in a good position, not guaranteed. When we win, then we can all talk, and I'll hold my hands up. But until then, I think we just need to be humble. We'll humble ourselves, some of the fans online and other people, just take it game by game before we do the thing. That's all I have to say.
Hmm. Okay.
All I'd say on that, Arsenal fans talking about having bigger fish to fry. They haven't even made the chips, lad. What are they talking about?
Right.
Bigger fish? What bigger fish? Well, like other than like what? You've
Haddock.
nothing. Nothing.
Not haddock. Haddock.
No fish. Maybe the scraps. You know the scraps, the bits of batter left at the end. That's all Arsenal are getting, man. A few scraps.
Right.
Bigger fish. Jeez.
Well, I can openly admit that. Look, I expect Arsenal to improve in this title race. I do expect them to improve in this title race. I expect Arsenal to try their best at trying to make it a run for us. That's why I said it's not going to be easy sailings. Slot even acknowledged that too as well in his presser. A lot of these notes and points I'm bringing up are from the press conference, the second press conference that he had the day, or basically the Everton preview conference that he had. And Slot acknowledged that Arsenal's ability to put together winning streaks is not something unbeknownst to them. He referenced their resurgence last year after they did their Dubai trip and how they finished off the year pretty strong. Arsenal's upcoming fixtures are Leicester, West Ham, and Forest, all of which they can get some real momentum on. Wolfie, if you're out there, I'm keeping an eye on your fixture again when Arsenal comes up, because I would certainly say you might even have a friend to meet that day, because I think of them as more of a threat, despite the fact that Forest does sit in third place. I don't necessarily think of Forest as being a real contender in this race, but if you're going to consider Arsenal at this moment to be a contender, I guess you would have to say the same for Forest. But Liverpool must keep their lead intact, obviously, over the next 5 crucial games in 15 days. That's why I was bringing up the City matchup as being a one less fixture that it'd be a different story if it wasn't City, if it was, I don't know other teams. I'd have to look at the list of other teams that made it through in the FA Cup. And let's just say hypothetically, I don't know how many other championship teams there were that made it through. Or even bottom of the league's teams from our own Prem. But with that said, why I was making a reference to it is that we have 5 crucial games coming up in 15 days. That means a game every 3 games. Having the likes of having City be a part of it would have not been an opportunity for us to rest and rotate. I don't think we're going to have that many opportunities at all left to rest and rotate. If anything, the Plymouth game, I'm hoping, has put the fear of God in those fringe players or the youth academy players that want to find a pathway up, or even the players that are just squad players on our team, or even the handful of starters that were a part or were at least affiliated with the game. I hope that it makes them recognize the fact that they're going to have to step it up. And that little bit of, hey, we can kind of like have maybe an off game that we can rotate heavily and get some rest for us. That privilege is gone. And if these guys, these fringe players, these squad players, even these youth academy players, the best thing that you could do, if you want to feel as though you're a contributor, if you want to feel as though that defeat is something that we can move past from and show that we've learned from it, we're going to have to see some real step up in performances against obviously higher caliber teams. And that's what's going to be notable for me, is how they perform against these higher caliber teams that they're going to have to take on and there's very little wiggle room for them to have any bit of a mess up in the games. Do you guys see difference in that as well? Do you think Arsenal is going to be a threat to us, or do you think it's all smoke and mirrors for them right now? We'll just go down. We'll go Irishman, Lee, JK, and the line. Let's go down the line here.
No, they didn't do the business they needed to do in the window. They needed a striker. Havertz is injured now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they tried with the Ollie Watkins thing, but they needed to do some business, especially with Saka out. So not at all. If they'd gone and done like a kind of a mini Man City, say they'd gone and they'd spent 100 million,
Right?
And
not even they spent
forwards.
Yeah, they spent 204. Get the number right. 200.
That's what I mean by a mini Man City.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, a mini. I didn't hear that. My apologies.
Yeah. If they'd gone and bought John Duran and an attacker, so whoever, you know, you might say they might have keep one eye on them, but it's ours to lose now. We do our job. We should be cool. So no, they haven't strengthened it all in the right areas. No, they don't feel like a threat to me.
Okay.
I think they might be overtaken by Manchester City.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even think they'll finish second.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have any fire. They don't score goals. Can't score goals.
Okay. How about for you, Nalante?
Arsenal, are they a threat? Well, at this moment, you saying no, but they're going to be there. I think it's mainly down to us if we do our job. I think that's the key of this. If we can do our job, if we can keep this run going, then the goal is at the end of the road. But if not, and if by the time the injury Saka comes back, then we'll see. But right now, until we mathematically make it, then they're going to still be there. So but I think it's more down to us than them. That's what I'll say.
Okay. How about for you, Lee? Is Arsenal a threat, or do you have your eye on another team, or maybe just holding the same? I know that.
Arsenal. Yeah, it's Arsenal. I've got my eye on. I think he will be a threat till the end of the season. I don't think we'll be able to get so far in front of them that we can forget about them. They will be our rival, I think, and we will drop points somewhere. I just hope we can get these tomorrow, so we're 9 points clear, and then if we drop 2 here or there, it won't be the end of the world. But we definitely need to get these 3. Start with these 3 tomorrow. Get 3 against Wolves, and then see where we go after that with the Villa and City away games. Then we got Newcastle at home, haven't we, after Villa and City away, which is another tough game. But we could definitely win all of them. We could win all of them, and I'm hoping we do.
Okay. How about for you, JK?
Right. Whoever's second is going to be a threat. I don't know how big the gap is. Really. Arsenal, the gap isn't massive. It's a few bad results here and there, and there could be whatever in the business. But for me, I've got so much faith in this team that I'm not worrying about no one. I just worry about our own team. As long as we get our job done, as the cliche saying goes, get our job done, forget about everyone else.
Right.
Arsenal can do whatever they want, I'm not worried about no one, really. For me, Liverpool, good team, good manager. We could do it ourselves, So far, so good. Let's carry on,
Okay. I mean, we do have. I mentioned their fixtures. I mentioned our own 5 crucial games in the next 15 days, and that's those fixtures obviously include the Everton matchup tomorrow. It also includes the Wolves matchup that we have at home, and then we do go on a very important run of away games, which will see us go to Villa, and then also we'll see us go to City. And then when we return to Anfield, we'll have Newcastle to take on, who eventually will be our final League Cup final opponent. And then we have, that's the, at least those are the 5 games I have in our focus as being crucial games. Wolves being a slip-up game that I don't want to see happen. Obviously, Wolves is a team that we should handily take care of. Everton, obviously, it's the derby, so it's important. It's a rivalry game. It has different settings in itself. Villa is a very difficult place to play at. They're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type team when it comes to their away and home their home placements. City obviously are starting to get some momentum. They're in this Real Madrid game right now. I believe they're up still 1-0, I believe, in this game. And it's at City, so that's something that we want to necessarily focus on as well. And then we have Newcastle, who have a little bit of a belief in them that they can really do something against us, and maybe even utilize that Anfield matchup as a real tester as to what and how they can try to figure out a result finder for themselves against us in that League Cup final. With all that said, I know that
Barney's just asking a quick question.
Go ahead.
Quick question, short answer, nope. Any news on 3 contracts? Short answer, nope.
None that I know of. No, none that I know of just yet. You have your rumors out there. You have your journos that take a statement or some type of statement from one or two, and they like piecemeal them together and they try to make something out of it, but that's just not the case. Any hard, hard hitting news has not been dropped just yet on those 3 contracts. But I do have some injury updates for us. So Joe Gomez suffered a recurrence of his previous injury, which makes you kind of think maybe he was brought back to this lineup a little bit too soon, obviously, because it's the same leg as he just pulled up lame on. Like it wasn't like he was in a tackle or anything like that against West Ham. And given the nature of the injury, he is likely to be out for a considerable amount of time. That's unfortunate, and it's something that I hope isn't the case. We will all wish you the best, Joey, and hope that you can get back quickly. And
same like different injury though, which is crucial. Different muscle part.
Mm-hmm.
Not same leg, but different muscles. So whether that's
related or something,
good or
maybe
bad, I don't know.
Maybe he's compensating by using.
Always happens, man. Dortmund just scored 1 up. Get
all right. So those games all have 1-0s on them as well, I guess.
And Sporting just brought on Gyökeres. He hadn't started. Hader had started instead, but Gyökeres just came on. Gyökeres, yeah. But Guirassy, 10 goals in 9 Champions League matches. 27 went there from Stuttgart, I think, late bloomer. 10 goals, and they're having a bad season, and he's got 10 in 9.
Well,
he was 22. They'd be talking about 100 million. He's 27 now.
Well, I was just going to add that. Oh, my boy didn't start today. Interesting. See what happens. Happy did not start in this one. Is he injured? Let me double check and make sure he's not injured.
Yeah, you could see as soon as Joey, like what I was saying to lads, like when that happened, I thought like the guy was offside because the way Joey just slowed up, but didn't like pull up. He just slowed up. I thought he knew he was going to be called offside or something, and the play went on. So you could see, and he tried to run for about 5 more minutes after that, where he actually went off.
Joe's injuries have always been like that. It's not actually been a tackle. It's been he's pulled up when he's run. Remember away to Burnley, and I think it was 18, 19, or was it? It was ages ago. We were away to Burnley, and he was playing right back. He went on a run, an attacking run, playing right back, overlapping, and he just pulled up, and he was out for ages.
Yeah, the winger went past, turned, and went to run with him, and he didn't stop. He just kind of dropped.
Right.
to like 75% pace, and you could see, like I said, I just thought the ball had gone out of play or something, because it just wasn't normal the way he slowed down but didn't stop running. It was just so weird the way he did it, and the
Yeah.
play went on. But
Yeah.
he kept going for a while after that.
So
Well,
it's just a minor aggravation of something that was already there.
The commentator said it. I think the commentator said it during that game we were watching. Oh, yeah, no, he's only played 257 games or something like that in his whole career. 27 now. He's only played something like 257 games. He's been so unlucky with injuries. And it hasn't been because he's like like he's missed just huge chunks as well. Like he's missed, that's him out for a season. Like he's out for a year. Okay. The amount of times he's come back from huge setbacks. 1-1 Mbappe.
he scored. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, like AJ was saying, he was killing it in France before that. 1-1 Juve PSV. I think Vlahovic scored the Juve goal. I'm not sure who scored the PSV goal.
It was because I was looking at that. Pepe isn't the U.S. men's national team player isn't involved in that game because he's out with injury. So it was Ivan Perisic. That's the goal scorer for PSV.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 1-1, 1-1, and still 1-0 in that Borussia Dortmund game.
Yeah, I have the Dortmund game has been shown on Irish TV, so watching that here.
Who's Dortmund playing?
They're away at Sporting.
Okay.
Good game, actually. Lots of chances, but only one got finished. But it's one of the it's a nice matchup because like Dortmund aren't great this year and Sporting are Sporting, so they're very kind of evenly matched.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I don't know. Sporting is at home though.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it's a good game. Like they're both getting chances. Both teams are getting chances. So it's very end to end. Like there's no. It's not like what I mean is one of them isn't being dominated. Most of it is Dortmund. Most of the ball is Dortmund's, especially now since they scored.
It's also 2-2, by the way, in that matchup against Forest and Exeter. Forest and Exeter.
Oh, Exeter is definitely the 2, I think.
Yeah, they're not.
They're always really small. They're always very small.
Yep. But one more thing. I was going to look at other scores here. All right, I'll do that in a second. All right, let's get into the next subject of topic I was going to talk about or bring up at least. And that was, let me just double check here. I already brought, the injuries. I was still in the injuries, actually. I didn't give all the injuries. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold is back in partial training, by the way. He's returned to the squad, is being monitored daily. But he is unlikely to start his next matchup, which will mean that Connor Bradley is expected to start at right back, with Trent's possibility featuring as a substitute, possibly. For like 15, 25 minutes, 25, 15, 20 minutes, something like that around there, as a possible option, depending on fitness. But honestly, and obviously, I hope that we wouldn't have to even utilize that feature as of right now to try to possibly have what ended up happening to Joey be the case for Trent. At least I don't want to see that option even being put in there. There were some standout standout comments being mentioned in that presser, and one of those standout comments was "cool heads, but not cool legs," I guess is what we're looking for. It's possibly why you sometimes see players get runs at the end of the games that we're kind of scratching our head as to why they're even involved in these games. But Slot's standout message was Liverpool must match Everton's fight, but be smarter about it. That was the quote that he gave. And he analyzed last season's ill-disciplined start at Goodison, where Liverpool conceded 9 fouls. Let me repeat that, 9 fouls in the first 10 minutes. Too many early fouls allowed Everton to gain some type of momentum. Obviously, you mentioned about even at some point, even you kicking the ball out of bounds will get a rise out of the crowd if you start to build that momentum with the audience or with your fans, and that's what happened at Goodison. The message to the squad is this time for this particular game is be aggressive, but don't give any cheap set pieces away, because that's one prime entryway for Everton to possibly get some cheap or some goal on the scorebooks, because they honestly they really rely heavily on crosses and their aerial threats as being the options to get them their goals. They don't have many goals in open play per se, and they struggle at that. So push them to have to score that way, and if anything, take away the possession, take away their opportunities, and we should be able to get some type of result. Do you have any other issue, or do you have anything that you would add to what Slot says as being the focus of what this matchup is going to be for us? Now ask that to Lee, then JK, Nalante, then Brian this time.
2-0 Dortmund, by the way. Pascal Gross.
Okay.
Oh, Pascal Gross. He was okay for Brighton, Gross.
Wow, that's going to be tough for them to work their way back.
Hello, goal ratio. How are you? Thanks for being in, Matt.
Big up goal ratio. But Lee, that's the question is posed to you. Do you think that he's spot on? Do you have anything you would add to that, to his be aggressive, don't give away cheap set pieces? Obviously, like I said earlier, we had an ill-disciplined start at Goodison last year where we had 9 fouls in 10 minutes in the first 10 minutes. But This is obviously a different coach, different scheme that we're going about. And he's emphasizing to be smarter about our fight against them.
We've got to keep our heads. We've got to match them physically and keep our heads. But basically, we've just got to play our football. What we need to do is start the game right. You can't start derbies slowly and then try and get into them as they go along. You'll end up not winning the game. So we've got to start really well tomorrow. From the first whistle, we've got to be on it or at it, whatever word you want to use. But and then hopefully they won't have a chance to get into the game, to be able to grow into the game, because we'll have it by the scruff of the neck. Hopefully, if we start well, and we won't let them in it. Last year's derby was bloody awful at Goodison. That was one of the most insipid performances I've ever seen from us under Klopp. Last year's derby performance at Goodison.
Okay. How about for you, JK? Oh. I can't see if you're on mute or not. That's why. Hopefully.
Oh, he is. He is at the moment.
All right. Is Nalante on mute as well?
Yeah, but Nalante, he's off mute now. Nalante's off mute.
Nalante, can you answer that question then? Do you have something that you would add to the emphasis? Like if you were able to give the team talk, is there something that you would add to what I just spoke on as being his focus for the team?
He, to be honest, Slot summed it up perfectly, and it's good, which I thought he would. Sorry. I think it's something that he would probably watch the video of last season of showing it to the players, which is good. So, and you can say he's a different manager, but they're professional enough to do a job. But I think mainly not an excuse because that was one of the worst games of our performances last season, along with Man United. Two of the worst games. We were horrible. But I think one of the reasons why it was a little bit in the back of the minds of Klopp. So that's why, again, that's a different subject in terms of Klopp's leaving announcement. So overthinking, but Slot is a different manager. So everything that he said is spot on, and it's just for them to be the players that we know. We know we've got a better team than Everton, and for them to show it, and that's it, really.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, the unscripted sports show just popped in. Said big up guys, just want to say
Okay.
hi, can't stay today. You'll never
Go
walk
Birds.
alone and go birds.
Yeah. That's one of my friends from back home. Big up.
Oh,
big
nice,
up.
big up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
JK, you there?
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
Yeah.
yet. Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
No, he's here.
Yeah. Like regarding this game tomorrow and Slot and everything, I think he didn't expect that result on Sunday, so it was a bit of a surprise to him. At the end of the day, he already knows in his mind the Premier League's the number one, Champions League's number 2, League Cup's 3, and then the FA Cup would have been 4th. But I just feel, look, come on, bro. I don't understand how anyone can say anything about Slot, because for me, he picked enough good players in that team to beat a Plymouth side who are awful. So for me, that game's forgotten about already. Slot sort of come out in the press conferences saying this, that, and the other. For me, tomorrow's game is all about mentality. Same as that Man United game, mentality. Player-wise, player for player, we're better than all them teams. You know, it's all about the mindset before the game. So tomorrow, we've got to be mentally prepared for that Derby game. I don't want to see no messing around. I just want us to be locked in and play our game. And I hope Slot's done that in the last few days, getting it into their head. We've got a big Derby game coming up now. Virgil as captain, getting it into their heads as well, you know?
Okay. Yeah. It's certainly, yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh no, sorry. Go on.
No. Go ahead.
Oh well, yeah. This is what I was saying earlier on about the parallels. There's huge parallels between this game and Plymouth. Arne Slot, never been to the 4th round FA Cup. This whole, like, you can look at it, you can think about it, but he underestimated it, definitely. The team was fine, but the bench should have been stronger. He's probably thinking that we're finished with Plymouth, right? The parallels between, he can watch all the videos he wants about Merseyside Derbies, read all the books he wants, talk to he's never been there, he's never experienced it. And unfortunately for this guy, his first one is going to be the last one. And it's going to be a night game under the lights. He's never going to have known anything like this. He's played in big games, but not the final game of, PSV versus Ajax at PSV Stadium. This is a unicorn game. It's going to be completely different. You can't prepare for this in the way that, like, he's trying to watch the videos and talk to the players. Once you go out there, this game is going to be a cauldron. It's going to be different settings, as people would say. And like Mike Tyson always says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And this is going to be a boxing match tomorrow. He can have all the speeches, he can have it all lined up, he can have it all ready to go. But once we go out there, this is their patch. It's their manager. I didn't really think Moisey going back was a good idea, but it seems to be working out decent for him. They've got this Alcaraz guy playing well now. They've got this Ndiaye kid up. This is, they are going to want this. If he thinks this is what Plymouth was an incredible audition for this. If he thinks Plymouth wanted it that badly, if he thinks that Katic guy was OTT and how much every challenge meant to him, wait until you see what's going to happen at Goodison Park tomorrow night. The last ever Merseyside. Do you think they're going to leave an ounce of blood, sweat, and tears on that pitch to go off there with a win for us? To lose, I think they want to be the team that lost the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison. Not with Dave Moyes in the dugout.
I'm
Not
hoping
with those fans.
the Plymouth
It's going to be a
result.
war. No, it's going to be a war. But the last thing I'll say on it is, before I thought they could go two ways. The fact that he doesn't understand it means that he could just be unaffected by it and be kind of cool about it, and just kind of, whereas someone who was more invested might get more emotional about it, say Kenny or Jurgen, and he might just kind of come in and say, "Oh, I didn't realize it was that big a deal. Just went there and beat him 2-0." You know, or the fact that he doesn't quite, fully, he's never basically played a derby before, does that hinder him? And I think hopefully the fact that he'll know himself, shit, I kind of underestimated that Plymouth thing. I need, like, this is going to be like an FA Cup final for them, a Champions League final for them. You have to be prepared for that, and that's going to be on the players once they go out there. That's why the likes of Mac, Virgil, JK asked me earlier on who I think the key player might be for us. I'm going to say it now. Allison is going to have a huge game tomorrow. Allison needs to basically, could be the last line of defense, because they're going to throw everything at us.
Right.
So
Agreed.
I kind of can't wait to watch this game, to be honest with you.
Top words, Brian. Knocked it on the head right there. That was a proper promotion for the game. Yes, you should have recorded that. That was nice. It's a proper game tomorrow. No messing around. They're going to be proper up for it.
I'm hoping
McAllister's the main guy for me.
I'm hoping Arnie can use the Plymouth result to motivate the players even more. Look what can happen.
Yeah. When you don't take a crowd seriously, you have to beat a team strong. Yeah. Oh man. Almost a kind of behind the couch job, maybe. Half behind the couch job, maybe, until.
Yeah, if we can be 9 points ahead and then beat Wolves, then we've got them 3 really tough games. That after that, haven't we? Villa away, City away, Newcastle at home. But we can go into them with more confidence, can't we? Like if we're 9 points clear, if we drop 2 points, like it wouldn't be fatal. But I don't want to drop more than 2 points in them 5 games. I'm not for us dropping any more than 2 points in them 5 games.
Okay.
Where I don't know.
Say again?
Where we could drop them 2 points, I don't know. It would either be at City or Villa. I'd expect us to beat Newcastle at home. Maybe if we drop 2 points at City or Villa, we'd still have a 7-point cushion then, wouldn't we? Saying that, they've got to play Forest, haven't they, Arsenal? I know they've got 2 easy games next, Leicester away and then West Ham at the Emirates. But they've got Forest after that, which is a tough game.
It is a tough game. It is a very tough game.
I'm pleased that we're going into this period now where we've got 5 league games on the spin, just to get the number of league games, a number of them out the way and get closer to what we all want. I want to savor this season like why we're still in the middle of it and that, but at the same time, I want us to get closer and closer to that league title because I just want it to happen. Been waiting so long for this 20th one, and we've been waiting a long time as well to have a parade because we didn't get one last time after the 30-year wait, which was just obscene. But there you go. That was COVID.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Let's see if I have any other questions here. Okay. I also want to have to bear with me because I'm on a different computer, so it takes me a little while. But I believe you're right about that. The first 15 minutes, I think, is going to be crucial. I think in this game, Slot spoke about that as how he wanted to try to take the sting or the sting out of the crowd, basically, in the first 15 minutes. He said he emphasized how Everton feed off of the crowd energy, so Liverpool must control the tempo and avoid an early setback. Liverpool's previous away defeats against Newcastle, Arsenal, Forest, or not defeats, but like as in are some of them being draws, but defeats as in like us going behind. Were just that. It was situations where we fell behind in those games and we had to fight back, and we just didn't have enough possibly to even persevere in those games. So Forest being the loss that we have on that list there. But unlike previous away games where Liverpool have eased into matches, Slot hinted at attacking early to silence the crowd and put Everton on the back foot. It's something that we haven't really seen us do too often. Um, and as Brian said, they're going to be looking at trying to get some type of early goal against ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possibly the right mindset to go in and do this different approach, I guess you could say, towards getting into the game slowly but surely, getting into the flow of everything, and then utilizing that second half of adjustments and proper attention to what the coaches see as being spots and places that we can take advantage of from that particular game, or do you feel as though go out, hit them hard, don't look back, just like try to really do a little bombardment against them early, and that's the way, and possibly open our own selves up to possibly a counter?
I'm relatively confident that we can stand up to them physically. It can be a bit of a war, the derby, but I'm pretty confident that Arnie will have his troops regimented, marshalled, and ready for combat when the whistle goes. I reckon we'll be able to cope with the physicality. It's just not to get dragged into it too much, not to get dragged into pettiness with them too much, because they'll be all over that. If there's anything petty going on, they'll be they'll be the source of it, trying to get free kicks and rolling around and shite, and trying to kick our players and that. That'll be going on, but we've just got to rise above it because we're the better team. We've just got to keep that in mind, win the right to play, and then play them off the park and take the points home with us.
Earn the right to play. Earn the right to play is going to be at the forefront. You're spot on.
Okay. Go ahead and elaborate on that, Brian.
No, you just got to you got to go out, and you can't expect to. It's Johnny Giles' whole quote. You've got to earn the right to play. And I remember saying that to my nephew when he first started playing football, and he said, "What?" He said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Look, if you're going up against a team and you're technically better than this guy, right? If you're more skilled than him, you can do all the tricks, and maybe he's okay, but he can't. You can't expect him to just stand off you and go, 'Oh, you're better than me. Go and do your stuff.' No, he's going to fight you for every ball. He's going to tackle. He's going to get on top of it. You need to beat him physically and mentally for effort, for determination. And then once you've done all that, then you'll be able to go and do your stuff, as I say. Because he will chase, he will harry you. That's what I used to do as a bear one, the skillful guy, but I'd be up in your arse all the time, You weren't going I'd be right on top of you, I'd be tight, I'd be kicking you, not kicking you, but you're not getting past me easily just because you're the skillful guy. You got to go out and just basically go toe to toe physically and on every level. And then eventually the fact that you were better than them at football should pay off. But you shouldn't expect to be allowed to just do it.
In the mid-90s derbies, we still have better players, better footballers, but
and by the way, that was Johnny Giles' excuse for just going in and clattering people most of the time. By the way, just back in the 60s, it was different. It was different.
Right to play, but he was right, because as well as a tough tackler, he was a very, very good player. But it's less so now because the game is less rough than it was. But it's still a physical sport, and players can still put meaty challenges in.
Look at Bradley. Bradley on Mbappe. Bradley on Son. Two of the biggest cheers you'll ever hear. And what were they? Tackles where he just took ball and man, and everything was fair, and there was limbs going flying.
Loads of tackle that gets the crowd going, rather than a goal. It could just be
some of the biggest cheers you'll hear this season. That Bradley tackle on Mbappe. Everyone in Anfield, I guarantee, even some of the Real Madrid fans almost kind of just by inadvertently just tackle. That's just pure football. You love to see it, as I say. But yeah, that's there'll be a few of them tomorrow. But the problem is, Bradley, that is almost as difficult as scoring a goal, because you mistime that by a millisecond and you're off. Because you don't get ball and man, you just get man, and it looks like you're trying to break somebody's leg. So, but there could be a few of them tomorrow. Like Max is saying, the one on Son, exactly the same. If you're going to be that committed to get it right, you have to. Your times are perfect, but you get that slightly wrong, and you just know straight away you're just going to start walking off.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, should be some. Some was mentioned it earlier, but I know, like, I don't talk about it, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't envy. Because I know now, because the lads brought up, it's Michael Oliver tomorrow, but I don't envy him. I don't envy Michael Oliver tomorrow.
No, not Oliver.
I wouldn't want to be reffing that game. I don't care who we are. I wouldn't want to be in the middle for that one.
I hope he's fair with his cards anyway. Like if they're acting the goat like and that, and dragging our players back when they're trying to like get past them and that, because some of the matches away from home, like some of the yellows that don't get given against us, is just ridiculous. And then you see us pick up ones that are equally ridiculous, but for other, for different reasons. I just hope he's on top of the game in that respect. Like,
Smart qualifier. No. It's enough said.
Very true. Very true. Trying to get this thing set up for us. How about for you though? With that game plan that I just set out as being what is Slot's idea of how to go into this game? Do you agree with that, or
To Desmond, we've got a Desmond at City.
all right. Good.
I believe we have. In case, just let me hang on.
Yeah, there you go.
Mate, there was never any chance that City were going to go through over 2 legs. They're going to get battered in Madrid, and that's all there is to it.
Well, Madrid have no defenders tonight. That's not.
Yeah.
They've no defenders.
The Romanian, that Asun Sao fella who played off the line against.
Yeah,
he's a rookie himself.
I think it's 2-2 City.
It is.
Yeah,
It
Diaz. Yeah.
But it's still 2.
I had a Desmond in that too. JK, I'll tell you, I had that as a Desmond as well.
Oh, nice. Good call. Good call.
Not over yet. Not over yet.
Not over yet, though. Definitely not over yet.
Obviously, my natural preference would have been for Real Madrid to go out, because that opens up the Champions League a lot more for the other clubs if they're already bloody out of it.
Get City out, man. Get City out of that comp. Just get them.
Yeah, it's equally good.
Crappy, shitty Liverpool. Get them out.
City going out. I knew that he wouldn't beat back in Madrid anyway. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying it would have been preferred. Like, if Madrid were out of it, it does open the Champions League up that bit more.
No, this is only 2-2 at half time, man. I'm not saying that. And, I'd back him to. We did a show with JKR, and I said 2-2 tonight, and they go out over 2 legs. But
okay.
No, I just want City. I don't care, really. Someone asked, would you want to go earlier on? I don't care, because I hate both of them equally, and I equally don't want to have to play either.
We need someone else to do us the kind favour of knocking Madrid out. Maybe
either one of them gone, fine by me, because to me they're both as horrible to have to play, and I hate them equally. So.
Okay.
Let someone else get
City have the fun of knocking City out.
Mm-hmm. So not Madrid out then.
Madrid out. Okay. I was going to say,
we avoid them both.
These are the 2 teams we beat 2-0 at Anfield in a week. These are the 2 teams, yeah?
Yeah. Exactly. We made Madrid look like or something.
Like Plymouth.
Well, we're not going to hit our mark for time, but I'll make sure that we get the entire show in all the same. Let's get into these last couple points then real quick. So, key match stats and historic. I'll bring that up in the questions.
Max did bring it up. Oh, yeah, in case. Oh, you have trivia, don't you? I won't bring up, because Max is referencing a record. I won't bring up what he mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. I have a couple of trivia things I would like to definitely do and a pop quiz for us. Trying to make sure my mouse is slow as heck. So that's why it's coming. But so Liverpool must start strong, control emotions, avoid reckless fouls, obviously. Connor Bradley will likely start. This is what the summary and final thoughts are, at least for parts. I'm going to bring up the actual lineup as well. Possible lineup, at least. With Trent possibly coming off the bench. Everton will be physical, but Liverpool needs to be smart, not passive. And a win at Goodison would be a historic ending to this derby being played there, at least, and bring up some bragging rights and certainly solidify some more of our aspirations for a real ending to the season, as opposed to last year's ending to the season. Let me bring up this right here as well. I'm going to bring in. This is what I have as being the predicted lineup. So, predicted lineup is this. It's the lineup that we kind of expect minus Trent. It's the lineup that's kind of been the preferred lineup out there for us. And I'm just seeing if they've gone. I think they've gone to final the PSV game, I think. But still 2-2 in that other game. So I have it as being Robbo. I have our captain, BVD. I have Konate. I have Bradley on the right. I have obviously Ali in goal. I have Grav, Maka, and Dom as our point person in 10. And I have Cody. I have Salah. And I have Lucho being the option that he'll go with in that center forward position. And also, I think we will see. Obviously, most likely we'll see Nunez off the bench as an option.
Maybe hang on.
Yep.
Hang on. I think we may have.
We might have a 3-2 score, people.
We may have a 3-2 with the Etihad.
We do have a 3-2, actually.
We do have a 3-2 at the Etihad. Jude Bellingham.
Poor old City.
Yep.
Can't get a win for love nor money unless it's against Leighton Orient.
3-2. 3-2 currently Real Madrid, showing why they are Real Madrid.
Even with no centre back.
Seconds, KJ. Seconds, man. Seconds.
Yep.
You're into plus 4.5 minutes now, maybe, depending on the halftime, maybe 6 minutes. I'm not sure.
Yep.
This is it, man. Like, honestly, say Madrid are like roaches, man. They are like cockroaches after you just don't count them out. We said earlier on 2-2. I said it ain't over.
I hope someone else
over
them this season for us. Don't want to be bumping into them. I'd rather not bump into them at all, to be honest. But if we have to in the final,
are they playing with 10 men now? They are, I believe. I think I have to double check. I think that Exeter Forest matchup is against a 10-man. I think they just got a red card, I want to say, in that game.
Oh, Exeter or Forest?
I think Exeter just got a red card.
Oh, okay. Well, it's gone full time in in Lisbon.
Yes,
I think Sporting are in Lisbon. I know there's there's Sporting Lisbon and there's Sporting Club Portugal. So
yep.
I think they're both in Lisbon. They lost 3-0 at home, which is not good.
Nope.
Not good. Top result by Dortmund. Yeah.
You have to go to Dortmund and turn around at 3-0. That ain't going to be on telly.
It's not going
to be. The Man City one. The Man City
Run
one.
DMC levels are tricky, man. Run DMC tricky.
Yeah.
Wow. Garassi nearly got himself sent off. He did the classic, when the ball is coming into a box and there's a striker there and a defender, and the striker ridiculously tries an overhead kick and kicks the defender right in the head. He did that, man. He was lucky not to get sent off because he didn't. He saw him, he looked where he was and decided, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to try and overhead and literally booted the Sporting defender in the head. He was lucky not to get sent off for it. He only got a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 3-0 win.
No bueno. So this is the lineup though I have. I also think that I don't know. I believe Calvert-Lewin is back, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Is he not?
I'm not sure. JK, do you know?
You can say again, bro?
Is
No, Calvert-Lewin isn't back. No, he's
No,
not back.
no.
He's injured.
Not back yet? He's still injured yet?
No, he's still a way to go.
That guy Beto is starting.
Beto,
isn't he?
yeah, Beto probably started.
Yeah, it'll be Beto. And like, come on, bro. If we let Beto score tomorrow, I'm gonna go for trials at centre back for Liverpool.
I don't think
Beto,
he's a threat.
He's not a threat, bro. He scored 2 goals a few weeks ago. But for me, it's a game where it ain't gonna be like a brilliant sort of player who scores a goal. You know what I mean, though. It's just like a goal's a goal, but we can't allow Beto to score. You know, that'd be my main thing because he plays on alone up top. You got Virgil and United to take care of him. You know.
Okay, let's see if I can get this straight here. So Beto, Lindstrom, Decore.
Do you want me to put your lineup on full screen, right? Can you not do it?
Yeah, you can put it full screen.
Yeah, because it's really small. Hang on. I think I can do it. Yeah, there you go.
That's the lineup I have for us. Pickford, I have Pickford in net for them. I have O'Brien as being possible.
All right, back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarkowski being at the center half. Brent Waite, being at the other center half. I have Mikalenko being on the left. And I have Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, gay. Yeah,
Yeah.
James Garner being being next to him.
Ex-Man United.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have Lindstrom. I also have Decore. And
Yeah, he's a threat as well.
Yeah, and DA as being a possible.
Like, see your Liverpool team you put up? I like your Liverpool team. I would just change Diaz for Darwin.
Okay.
That'd be my team.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm with the lads, but we were doing the team art on. Same
you can bring
team
it back up.
Only.
You can bring it back up if you want.
Oh yeah, sorry. Same team for me is only. Hang on. So where is it? There it is. Yeah. I would have, if he's fit, basically, I would have Jota instead of Diaz, but everything else, everything else is exactly the same.
Everything else exactly the same. Just it's that middle guy. It's always that middle guy, the main sort of position where we all talk about who's going to be. You've got to pick the 3 guys, bro.
Which is annoying, yeah. Well, it's definitely not. We can all agree it's not a Diaz game. He doesn't right now. It's like I said, it's not a Diaz game. Like I said,
it's a Darwin game.
Yeah.
Give them a bit of shithousery and give them a bit of run after me here, there, and everywhere.
Run behind the lines. Yeah. Incorporate the spaces because Everton struggle when they've been broke the pace. Because although Moyes is good, they've lost. They have. I mean, he's got a good record. They lost to Aston Villa, and I watched that game the other day, and Aston Villa dominated them. So it's the quality of the players, man. That's all it is. It's the quality of the players, man. And yeah, like I said, it's not a Diaz game for me. Diaz, is just obviously after not with Sunday, it's just not the game for him, like you said, JK, or either Yearly, yeah, Jota or Darwin. For me, like I said, JK, Darwin will get amongst them. He'll run the channels. He'll get in the spaces. He'll be a nuisance. They'll give space for our midfield. and Cody and Mo to kind of.
Type of player that enjoys playing in a derby as well. You know, when he's at a club and there's a derby to be played in, you know, he
Yes.
that doesn't he, to wind their fans up and try and score, and that way you can give it his all. So we'll see.
So who are you going with, Lee, in the middle?
I'd give Jota the nod.
Oh, okay, two for Jota then. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen as how Jota played quite a bit, didn't he, against Plymouth? He's got some minutes in his legs. Give him a chance.
Okay, so 2 Jota, 2 Darwin, and 1 for Diaz. You going with Diaz, yeah, 12?
For this, I did. For what I think, this is for what I think Slot is going to do. I don't believe, honestly, that this isn't a lineup that I preferably would want to see start for us. I disagree with you guys under maybe who you have starting. So I guess you guys all want Jota being, or Hata, however you want to pronounce it, but Diego being the starter for your 9, correct?
That's for Brian and Lee.
No,
and
they
me and
went
Alante. Nunes.
Okay, you want
Nunes.
Yeah, 2 for Nunes. I said Jota. Lee said Jota. Alante and JK said Nunes.
Okay.
Who we want? Like, who do you want though? 12.
I know who he wants. Don't drag it out, 12. Don't drag it.
My skills.
No, what I was going to say is I wouldn't mind seeing in this particular fixture, I would not start Cody. It's going to sound wild and weird, but I would have Lucho on that left wing for this particular game. And why I would say that is because of the history that I've seen Lucho versus this team in the left wing slot. He has been a real issue and problem, if not, has been the only production of real offense for okay.
Sorry, they haven't got much pace at right back, have they? Is it Seamus or Ashley Young who usually plays?
Exactly.
Make Lob Lucio on them, put Jota in the middle and Salah on the left.
Yeah. Now, whoever starts in the middle, that's a different story. I don't really mind Nunez being off the bench actually for this game, because I think that if you have an Everton matchup or Everton team that's been fighting for, let's say, 60, 70 minutes already, given they're all running around the pitch, trying to play, giving us a lot of the possession, but having to do a lot of running. And to have an impact player like a Nunez off the bench would be ideal for me, I think. But at the very same time, it's just a matter of what we can actually get out of Diego. You know, is he now suited more towards being a 20, 30 minute, substitution type style player for at least until he gets his fitness back to the level we need him at? Or is he able to get a good 60, 70 minute run? I don't expect him to get a 90 minute, but is he able to get a good 60 minutes of the kind of output we expect from Diego? I'd be cool with Diego starting, or I'd be cool with Nunez starting. Doesn't matter to me, but I would like to see one of those two start.
Yeah, we've waited long enough. I mean, there's that thing about, is he really ready? Should we risk him now? Should we keep him for Wolves, for his old club, like at the weekend? But no, if he's fit, let him start and see how he does. And if he isn't really getting into it, just take him off, because we've got 5 subs. Let him start a game for a change.
Oh, is that true, KJ? Okay. Well, we'll play KJ. We'll play O'Brien over Patterson, because O'Brien started the last couple of games at right back. Okay, interesting. Not that it affect us anyway. Both their injuries, not that it will bother us, but yeah.
Bless KJ. Hope you're cool, bro.
Garner, yeah, he's been doing all right for Everton lately, hasn't he, Garner? He's a couple of assists.
Yeah. Okay, he wouldn't put him right back for this game. No, it wouldn't make sense. They still got O'Brien. Patterson. So yeah, Gardner will be the middle.
Okay. I think we can actually.
The only reason I think it might be Jota that he'll play is because, like I was saying before the game, the Plymouth game, when I was saying I think Jota might start, it was to get him the rhythm. Build up on his talking about the Allison thing where he brought him in, and that's really why I thought maybe he would start Jota against Everton, because he's gotten the minutes to get up to match fitness to a degree against Plymouth,
Difference in
and
all
then
these.
bring him into the middle.
Look,
That's why I predict him anyway.
I'd like to see him give him a start, just to try and get him up to speed, and then got a chance of him playing a lot more minutes, like in this run of 5 games, because we're going to need him.
Okay.
We needed goals. Been missing
Coleman and Mikolenko both injured. Okay, so yeah, O'Brien or Parson. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that.
What's that? We're going to bring up the comment.
Sorry, yeah, Coleman and Mikolenko were both injured.
Okay.
You're saying it'd be Patterson and Young, or
I don't have Mikolenko as being injured, but okay.
Garner, right back has been good. But then he's saying, O'Brien will play.
Patterson right back and Young left back. Imagine.
Okay. Yeah. Mikolenko is doubtful. He's doubtful. He's not out, but he's doubtful. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I hadn't seen much news on them, to be honest. Yeah, okay.
Mo will be up against Ashley Young then, won't he, if he's playing left back?
Ashley Young, man. Who was it? Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put him on skates the entire game.
Even then, it was like, how is this guy still playing? That's 2 years ago, and he's still in Merseyside Derbies now.
Yep.
Well, Young and Seamus Coleman are both really old now, aren't they? Like, and lacking in pace.
Seamus well into his 30s. He took over as assistant manager when the lad left. Yeah, Seamus like 33.
Coleman.
About 35. Seamus, 36.
36.
At least 33. Yeah, so I would probably be.
Can you believe Ashley Young is older than Seamus?
Yeah. Ashley Young's even older.
Oh, well older. Yeah. Ashley Young is well older. Yeah. He's
doesn't look like he's aged today. Lucky for him.
That Patterson bloke, this Patterson, they've got it right back, the Scottish guy, but
he was highly rated a couple of years ago, but he's dropped off a bit.
Awesome, started promising or whatever, but I haven't actually seen him yet, Patterson.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian, go on.
No, sorry, I was just going to say about that. Yeah, he was highly rated when they brought him in, or highly rated a couple of years ago, kind of dropped off a bit. He's a good attacking right back, really, isn't he?
Where's Calvin Ramsey now? Is he at Preston? Or is he left Preston?
Where is he? Lante, do you know where he is?
I think it's either Preston or Wigan, one of the two.
We took him back from Wigan, didn't he? Yeah, he was at Wigan.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work out. We recalled him from Wigan, didn't we?
Yeah, when we got him, we found like a Robbo at right back,
Yeah, he's gone to Scotland. Abdul saying he's up in Scotland.
Okay, who's he gone to again? He's not back to his old club, is it? I think it's someone else.
We definitely sent someone to Preston.
Yeah.
He did go to Preston, at one point, Calvin Ramsey. He went to Preston about, 2 seasons ago on loan, something. 2 summers ago, he went to Preston on loan, but he didn't get to play because he was injured. I think he played a couple of games, a little bit, and then got injured.
Oh, I've just checked. Kilmarnock.
Oh, Killy
Lily.
So did City lose 3-2 to Madrid?
Yes, they did.
That would be correct.
Yes.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What else do we have here for you guys? I guess that brings us basically. Last question is what are the key battles then? I've already spoken on the key battles that I think is going to be. And again, that's why I thought it'd be interesting, considering how much play. Again, I try to highlight the fact that if anyone doesn't recognize the fact of where the majority of the ball is going to be played in for our team, it's going to be on our wings. And it's certainly a case where you're going to see a lot of action be played onto the wings. It's why, you know, I know no one wants to see Cody as a striker, but again, it's why I would like to possibly see Lucho on that left wing for this occasion, at least, as the option, because I think that he would bring about some real problems and issues for that left side. I think that's a key battle that I'm looking at. Are there any other key battles that you think are going to be in this game? Let's just go around the horn here, and we can start with JK, go to Nalante, Brian, and then Lee. Unless, is he on mute? Sorry.
JK's on mute. Nolante's off mute.
Okay. Nalante, you want to try and give us some of your key battles for tomorrow?
Excuse me, sorry. Key battles. The midfields, it's the obvious one. That's where the heart of the game will be won. So all three of, Sobo, Grav, Mac, if they can take control and nullify Evan, because they got decent Gray and the Corey are decent. The Dory very physical. They'll get stuck in, and Garner if he's guarding the free. So if we can take control of that, that'll be a key thing. And whoever her nine is, whether it's Diaz, Jota, Nunes, Diaz against Tarkovsky and Braithwaite, for them to stretch to be a pest against that defense, and that will give opportunity for our midfield and wingers to do what they do, and hopefully whoever number 9 is to get a goal, because obviously that's a lot of talk, but just we need one of them after what happened on Sunday, just to, especially Nunes and Jota, just to silence a few couple of doubters, just to silence a couple. I know it's one game, but it's a big game, and we need. I think those are the two key battles for me. And also one more. I wouldn't say it's a key battle, but I just want to notify the subs. The subs will be key. The reason why I say that is because of the majority of them, near about 99.9 of them who played against Plymouth. We want to see a reaction. A lot of them played poorly. So once they come on, and they will come on at some point in the second half, we want to see a reaction from them when they come on the pitch to impact the game. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
Okay. How about for you, Brian? Any key matchups, key battles that you want to point out?
I just want to read that out loud all day. Max says we should play McConnell, Neone, and Elliott and see if our strikers get in the game.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, Max. I get what you're saying. Key battles, whoever's up against this Ndai kid, if he goes left, right, I don't know, because he's going to be probably their main outlet. Pace, trickery on the break. So he's probably going to be their go-to guy to create stuff. So if he's up against Bradley, then that'll be a battle, because he'll be, like I say, a big outlet for them. All the rest will be the obvious battles, Verge against the centre half, Mo against his man. If it is Ashley Young, then But yeah, whoever is up against this Ndaya kid, he'll be probably the busiest lad on the park. So I'll go with that.
Okay. Oops.
I've always liked Decore. I wanted him for us a while ago, like before Everton bought him. It was a long time before Everton bought him, but I did like him once upon a time. Decore.
Okay. Let me put this down here. All right, I am pretty much ready to go with my little impromptu question pop quiz that we have here. Let me make sure that one is right. All right, so if you guys are ready, we can do a little pop quiz here for us, and we can, try to figure out if. Hopefully, I got most of these right. If I get them wrong, I'm sure people will tell me. So, make sure I have that done. Oops, that over here. All right, so you guys ready for this little pop quiz?
Mhm.
You guys ready? You want to play as a team? You want to play as individuals?
How many questions
Play
are
as a
there?
team.
It's only had like 11 questions, so. But I mean, some of them are two-parters, but I only had 11 questions.
Okay, well, I'll turn off the chat. Yeah, we can play as a team and turn off the chat.
Okay. And in the chat, if you want, you can put your questions or answers to the questions in the answers or for your answer as well. Don't worry, you won't be given any clues to the panel. But so we're playing you guys are playing as a team, correct? I'll make sure.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Question number 1. Who has scored the most goals in Merseyside Derby history? That's for either team.
Ian
Who
Rush
has
on
scored the most goals in Merseyside Derby history? And see if you can even guess how many goals that he's scored. The person has scored.
Oh, is that a bonus point? Yeah.
It's a bonus point. I give you a bonus
Is it
for that.
Robbie? It's not Robbie.
I
Is
reckon
it?
Rush. No,
Robbie
Yeah,
Rush
it's got
is
to be
Rushy.
Rush.
it's got to be Rushy. Even Max thinks it's Rushy. I think.
Oh, are you looking at the chat? He's looking at the chat. See, this is that.
Oh, you can't look at the chat. Okay. I thought
Oh,
everyone was just a quiz for everyone.
Oh, that's kind of.
No, but I knew it was Rush
No, we
anyway.
did. We did say, to be fair. JK did
No,
I
say
said
like,
Rush
it, to
straight
be
away.
fair.
I said Rush straight away. Come
Yeah, he
on.
did say it, to be fair.
yeah, like if we're playing as a team, you have to turn off the chat.
But come on, bro. He's going to be Rush, you know what I mean? Tell me it's
Well,
Rush.
yeah, no, okay, cool.
Okay, so you're going with Rush. Well, how many goals do you think he scored too?
13.
Oh wow, okay, 13. That's a lot.
I'll go 14.
Okay, I'll give you all a shot at it. 13, 14. What else? Anyone else you want? No. Lee, Lante, you want to have a stab at that one?
What's the question?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay, so
That was only
basically,
the bonus part. That was only
If you were
the
late
bonus.
for the airport, what are you? You are in a. If
we're
Lee,
saying-
if you're late for the airport, bro, what are you going to be? You're going to be in a. Don't say taxi.
We're saying they guessed that Ian Rush has the most goals in this derby. And I asked, how many goals do you think he's actually scored in the derby?
Oh, Rush.
You
11.
11? Okay, 11.
No, he scored more than that. Hang on.
What was your guess, Latte?
I'll say 19 for us.
Okay.
and this is all comps 12, right?
Mm-hmm. Just
Oh.
custom.
All competent. Oh, all comps. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say 14.
Well, that's what I said. Just based thinking it was just a league, but okay.
You can adjust it right now. That's
It's cool. No, it's fine.
Okay. Because you guys were, what was the number you said, Lee?
22.
Oh, wow. Lee was very close, actually.
Oh, damn. I was way behind. Okay.
He has 25 goals in this.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Way off.
Do you know can you guess the game that he did that, because he beat someone else. Someone else was actually obviously when he took over the lead in 1989. That's when he took over the
It was
lead.
against Everton.
No, not who it was
a game
against.
against Everton.
The game.
That's
But
my game.
you know that, yeah,
Game
but
against Everton. Yeah.
was it League? Was it League Cup? Was it FA Cup? Was it
League.
okay? It was an FA Cup final that he actually got the lead from. And do you know who the player? Do you know who the player that he actually surmounted in being at first place?
Was it Roger Holmes?
Nope. Yeah. I'll let you do it as a collective too. You guys see, so it's not Roger Hunt.
So it's not.
Who was the player that he got first? Who did he go from second?
Yeah, who was previously the top scorer?
Billy Liddell.
Is that your answer you want to go with as a group?
I don't know. Who was it before us?
Would we say? No, it wouldn't be King Kenny, would it?
No. Kenny didn't score any.
Yeah, all right. It's up to you. Will you Billy Little? Yeah. Or could be 1970s. There's no one that really. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, Lee, Billy Little's quite a good guess.
Go with appearances. Whoever's the most appearances.
Yeah, Billy Little.
This is for both teams. Keep in mind, it's for both teams.
Oh, both teams. Okay.
Yeah. This is Ian Rush now holds the record for most goals for both teams in this derby. Who did he surmount to get that?
Oh, record? So it could have been an Everton player. Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Making sure you understand, because you keep saying all these Liverpool players. I'll make sure you understand too, just in case.
Both sides. Yeah. I'm thinking. Or Dixie Dean.
Well, Dixie Dean scored about 7 million goals. So,
yeah.
I mean, just on appearances and goals. But who else? Was there another kind of prolific Everton guy? That was before Rush.
Not really off the top of my head.
That many? Yeah, fuck it. I'd go with Dixie Dean.
Final answer?
That's what I'd go with.
Yes, sir. JK?
It's based on the numbers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Final answer. Dixie Dean would be correct.
Okay.
Yeah. 25 is ridiculous amount of goals to score in any kind of situation, let alone.
Yeah.
It's against one team. Oh.
Yep. So you got that one right. Good job. All right. Next question. I don't think anyone in the chat got that either, so don't worry about it. Next question on my little pop quiz is: Who has scored the fastest goal in this derby?
Kenny Dalglish. He scored a really early one at Goodison in 85-86, his first season as player manager. We were at Goodison really early in the season. Might have even been still in August. We scored a peach. It was only a few minutes in. It's probably been beaten now.
I opened up the chat so people know that I did open up the chat so I can see your answers.
I missed the question.
Was it Mane?
Who has scored the fastest goal in this derby?
In any game?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All comps.
All comps.
Either side. Oh, no.
There's a famous early one, obviously.
Yeah.
Mane or Origi. There was that Kenny Dalglish one I said from the 85-86 season, very early in that season. Kenny's first season as player manager, and we done a double. He scored a
It's all comps all time.
All comps.
So not just Premier League, so any competition, anytime.
This is it. Yeah. It's a tricky one. Then
It's not Robbie, is it?
Robbie, could be. I remember he scored a goal against Everton early, but I don't know how early. So,
The question was, KJ, who scored the fastest goal in this derby?
Oh, it might not even be a Liverpool player.
yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking. No, Cahill never scored.
Yeah,
Early.
all these questions are not just Liverpool
They're
specific.
Derby based,
It's
not just
Derby based. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Graham
fuck,
Sharp.
I don't know.
Lineker. Yeah, this is a hard one.
I'm waiting for it to pop me into my head, but it is. I don't think it's going to, because I know
Yeah.
it's like one of those things I've definitely heard. Obviously, I've heard it, but
Well, Lineker. Look very lit. Would Lineker be? No. Lineker, Graham Sharp.
I don't. I just have a feeling it's not a striker. I know I said Fowler, but I just have a feeling it's just a random player.
Yeah, I'm thinking Andy Johnson. Yeah, I got feelings that Everton player more than the Liverpool player, but again,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
Like I
we could
said, I
go.
was waiting for it to pop into my head, and I don't think it's going to. It could be anybody.
Yeah, JK, anything? Okay, he's on me. I'm guessing.
Yeah, Jake is
Lee?
on mute.
Lee, what do you think?
Lee, anything? Lee?
I'll stick with the Kenny Dalglish one.
Kenny? Fucking go, Kenny, son.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably wrong, but yeah, we'll go with that, I guess.
Oh, Kenny, so Lee thinks Kenny.
Okay,
Go,
so
Kenny.
you're going with Kenny, right?
Yeah, Lee thinks Kenny. I'm happy to go with Lee. Well, it's he thinks it's Kenny.
More
He's
recent
happy to
one,
guess
although I
Kenny.
think there are more recent ones that were earlier. This was less than
There's a lot
5.
of Mane shouts. Why were you? When I came in, you were all shouting Mane. Was there a reason why you were all shouting Mane?
Mane. I'm sure he scored an early one against Everton, really early one.
I thought I'd go with that and said so. Go with Mane.
Okay, we go with Mane.
Not sure it's Mane, but I would think so. But we'll go with it anyway.
Better guessing Kenny though.
So why people are saying probably Mane is because Mane scored the fastest goal in Premier League history.
Oh, okay. There
But
you go. You're nearly right.
But because I saw that too, I saw that originally. I'm reading the article now too, just to. And, hopefully that didn't play over there. I did, but this is off of LFC history. There's like the actual like history page or something like that. That I got this this number. So King Kenny would have been the answer I was looking for. King Kenny.
Oh shit! Sorry, Lee. Sorry.
Fair play, Lee. So you're right, Lee. Fair play.
King Kenny scored in 21 seconds into the game. King Kenny scored in September 9th, 1985 in a 3-2 victory.
Sorry, Lee. Sorry.
It's all right. I went back on it myself anyway, didn't I?
Okay. All right.
Oh, fair play, Lee. You said King Kenny.
I just thought we were throwing it out for a last minute, and I stupidly just said, well, hang on a minute, because when I missed the question, and when I came in, everyone's going, oh, it's Mane, it's Mane, it's Mane.
Yeah,
yeah. And then we stopped talking about him, so I was just wondering why we bringing him up. But obviously, yeah, he has the Premier League record.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we were kind of right both ways, because Lee said Kenny, and then he said Mane, so he has both. So I think double that counts as a zero, right?
A 0-pointer. I don't know about that one, but yeah, he.
Well, I'm giving Lee props anyway. He knew both answers.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I would have gone freaking John Barnes and Andy Johnson or something.
Yeah.
I watched it not long ago. That goal from Kenny it was the beginning of a beautiful season, and it was like outside
21 seconds isn't bad.
Towards the wing, and he just clipped one. It didn't fly in, like it didn't hit it dead hard, but it was just he could not get it. It was a beautiful goal. And
Did we win that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we go on to win that game?
3-2.
Yeah. Dog said, yeah.
3-2. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 1 second.
In the cup final to complete the double at Wembley when Lineker scored early, and then we got.
That's interesting. That Goal ratio has an answer in there. Who was this? Do you know who's the second fastest in all-time history?
Oh, no, again, no.
That one you won't get because none of us probably, except for it was surprising someone got it in the chat as an answer. That's why I was wondering if you knew it.
Billy Liddell, Dixie Dean,
Yeah. Nope.
Bob Latchford.
It's a tough one. It's like from a very far gone era from our watching experience. 1938. 1938.
Okay, yeah.
Wilfred Bromley.
Yeah. The great Everton midfielder.
Looked like him. No, goal ratio had Balmer on here, and that's why I was like, who knows about Jack Balmer? That's a call. That's a shout if you know about him like that.
Big up to Jack.
Big up to Jack Balmer.
The Embalmer, they used to call him back in the day. The Embalmer.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what you do to your team.
All right, here's a question for you.
That's a Widnail and I reference in case anyone didn't get it.
This is just a year question. There has been we held a very long unbeaten streak. The longest unbeaten Derby run in home matches is held by who? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's by home matches, meaning like they were the home team. And what was the years that happened?
It's definitely us.
I think we.
So, who has the longest unbeaten home streak?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, but we're talking about history, innit? Oh, God. I'm sure it's probably us.
Goodison for ages, though, because I've lived through them now. But I think it'll be us. I think it will be us, like doing it.
No, it'll be us.
I would say maybe in the maybe in the 70s.
I think
Everton didn't win it a long time.
Well, at least the goal ratio came up. I was gonna say goal ratio. If you knew that one, more proud to you. But I appreciate you being honest. Goal ratio.
Of course he did. Yeah.
He admitted he did do a little.
Oh, yeah.
He did Google it, and he still got it. He admits he got it wrong. Still, that's cool. Goal ratio. Appreciate that. Appreciate the honesty.
Oh,
I say Everton didn't.
That's a yellow card. That one.
Yeah.
That's a yellow card. You don't.
Yeah.
You didn't mention at the start, but no Google.
Right. Yeah,
no Google for trivia. It goes without saying. No Google. Yeah. We take it on trust. We take it all on trust.
I appreciate him being honest, though. But go ahead. So, what's the longest unbeaten Derby run in all competitions? What's the longest unbeaten Derby run in all competitions?
I think it's us. I'm going to say 18. I'm going to say 18 undefeated, and it's us in the 2000 to 2020. If I understood correctly, that's what I say.
All right, we're gonna need it. Yeah.
We would have lost in between that, Brian. We lost to 2010.
How many games in a row?
I worked really hard just to even get that out. Don't make me try and think of another one.
I'm just with Brian. It's a team game. I'm just.
I thought I'd done a bit. I thought I'd hand him a paper and you'd stop me on the way in the garden.
Sorry, Brian, mate.
I'll take the fail. I'll stick with 18. I'll stick with 18.
What year though? Yeah.
I'll stick with 18.
Yeah, you're right. Because I know what 90. No, we lost in the 90s, isn't it? Oh God, 80s we lost them.
What's the longest number of seasons either of the Merseyside clubs has gone unbeaten for at home? You know, have we gone 8 years and Everton have gone 5 and shit like that? I thought that's what you meant. So you mean the entire number of games that you've gone unbeaten for in one period against the other?
Derbies, yeah, the most.
Yeah, in
Who
all
has the
comps, so
longest unbeaten at
home,
home
home and away.
Derby record?
Yeah. And
Home and-
12. I'll say
Just
12.
no, just home matches.
Yeah, home match.
Oh, all right. So that's all right. So if you're taking different home matches, then Brian, yeah, your answer would probably be right. Because yeah, I mean, Everton didn't. Yeah, Everton didn't beat us from that time period. You're saying, bro, that's right. Because then I remember they didn't beat us until the half of COVID season,
Pandemic season, but yeah.
pandemic season. Yeah.
Beaten
So
them
yeah,
both.
bro, I'm
Yeah,
happy.
don't say the C word.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's there. Cove. But yeah, I'm happy to go. I mean, it's up to you, Lee. I'm happy for you to go with your answer, Brian. So that's what I was thinking as well.
Oh,
If it's-
yeah, that was my random guess. 18 was the record, and between 2000 and 2020 was the period.
Yeah.
2000, 2020, 2000, 2020 is correct.
Good.
It was
Yep.
it
Also,
was 22 games. The longest
Wow.
unbeaten Derby run in home matches is held by Liverpool,
22.
which with Everton failing to win in the league, plus 2 cup games involved in that too. For
Yeah, remember that.
games between 2000 and 2020.
21, 22. Yeah. So it's 20.
Well, if you want all competitions, what's the longest unbeaten Derby run in all competitions?
Oof. In all competitions. I don't think it'll be much. I'm thinking of in all competitions.
Home or just straight up Derby?
Home or away? Home or away? Home or away? All competitions.
12.
6.
8.
Longest unbeaten Derby run in all competitions is held by
No,
who?
there'd be more. No, should we have to be more? No.
12.
You can give
11.
Yeah, 10. 10. I'd say 10.
You're gonna go 10, and then what years were they done in?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Oh, no.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's in that 2000.
Yeah, it's the same
2020.
thing. Yeah, but I don't want to narrow it down to like 2000 to 2014 around.
Yeah.
2000 to 2010.
Sort of.
Okay.
Klopp to end
2000 to 2010. You're saying with 10, that would be incorrect. The longest unbeaten
2010
Derby
to
run.
2020.
Oh, that's close. That one's close. The longest unbeaten Derby run in all competitions is held by Liverpool, with Everton failing to find a victory in 23 consecutive games between 2011 and 2020. So that
Oh, right.
2010 was like before that had been the last time they'd beaten us. The streak is also the longest streak, such run that Liverpool have had against any opponent in club history, by the way.
Okay,
Oh yeah, because
all right.
we should have been. Do you know what, lads? We should have been, because fucking I always say this. 2 things never happen at Anfield. David Moyes never wins at Anfield, and West Ham never win at Anfield. So whenever West Ham were coming here with Moyes, that was always the record. But Moyes never won a game at Anfield.
Yeah.
So his whole career at Everton is home wins for us, or not home wins, but home undefeated at home. And he's there like 10 years.
Yeah.
So all of those go into the yeah. I should have thought that's right. Yeah, Moyes never won a game at Anfield with any club. Never won with Everton. Never won a game with Manchester United. Never won a game with West Ham.
That's a mad record to have.
That's a
It's insane, yeah, because he's played for 2 of our biggest rivals. It managed 2 of our biggest rivals, Everton and Manchester United. He's never won a game, a club game, with Preston, whoever, random club, nothing.
All right, here's 2 fun questions for you then, real quick. For the chat, see if you guys can get this one. I know I'm going a little, I have a couple extras. I think it might have gone over the 10 or 11 I said I had, but I just have a bunch of ones written down. So I'll ask you this. Across their 119 meetings, how many goals separate Everton and Liverpool? And I'll give you a plus or
Can we
minus.
have within 5? What's our plus minus?
your plus minus I'll give you as being.
Well, you can look at what the totals are and then judge a decent plus minus.
Yeah, I'll give you as a plus minus of 3.
Okay, so it's close. What was the question again? What's the difference?
Across the 119 times these teams have met, how many goals separate these two teams?
Say 30. Excuse me, 37.
37. Okay. Is that the number you guys want to stick on?
No, that's me anyway. That's the number I'll draw up for not to be. I'll say 37. See if lads say we come to a consensus then.
Yeah, this is I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll just go with 37. What Bryce said.
Okay. 37. Is that the number you guys are going to stick with? That would be incorrect. Across their 119 meetings, there are only 6 goals between the two teams.
Oh, wow.
With Everton having scored 141 and Liverpool having scored 147.
Okay.
Right.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Probably because of the draws.
A lot of draws. Yeah, a lot
of draws, especially Goodison recently.
So, we're talking about draws and everything else. Do you know what is Liverpool's record at Everton at Goodison Park? How many wins do they have? And how many wins does Everton have against us at Everton? How many wins does each team have at Goodison Park against us?
All comps or just the Premier League?
It's probably just. It's not all comps, I don't think, because I don't think that's all comps. I don't have. I know it's all comps, or at least I know it's all comps. I'm not certain. It's definitely not just Premier League. It's the entirety of the existence of the two teams playing each other. But at Goodison Park.
Goodison, yeah. How many wins would Liverpool have? It's got to be double digits. It's got to be. Now we've drawn quite a bit.
I would probably assume this is all comps. I'm pretty sure safe to guess that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Lee, bro?
How many games has there been, did you say?
No, 12 was saying in terms of Goodison Park, how many games have we won in all comps since the existence of both teams?
Yeah. KJ, do not look at the chat, by the way.
No, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not touching the chat.
KJ, you are correct.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
KJ is correct.
Oh,
yeah, probably Googled it. No joking, KJ. God, what do you think? I'm thinking double digits. I don't know why. But there's been a lot of draws in it. Oh. But this is the existence. This is the existence. So
this is the existence. All comps at Goodison Park.
No, it's got to be double digits. No, it has to be. Can't be. I'm thinking 10, 12. What do you think, Lee?
What's the question?
No, you're talking. How many Liverpool? What is the number of wins Liverpool have, and what's the number of wins that Everton have at Goodison Park? That's what you're trying to find out.
That's all comps, bro. All comps.
There's been a lot of draws, as we said before, but they've drawn a bunch of times. But how many wins does Liverpool have at Goodison Park, and how many wins does Everton have at Goodison Park? You'll understand why. What's the number you guys want to go with? Let's get a number, because the chat already knows. KJ already knocked this one out without the help of Google as well. So,
what the boys are thinking, I don't know.
I'm thinking. I was just saying. I'm just thinking double digits. It's got to be in terms of the existence of the two clubs in all comps. I'm thinking. I don't know, 10, 12. I'm thinking that number.
Okay.
Sure, okay.
All right. It would be 41. It would be 41. Liverpool have 41 wins. Everton have 41 wins. They're both knotted up. This is a very important game for that.
Okay.
A Liverpool win would ensure they finish ahead in total Derby wins at Goodison forever. That's what you could say. You could say that for the rest for all time. You could say you have won the most games between these two teams at Goodison Park if we get a victory tomorrow. And also a victory tomorrow would be a victory for Liverpool tomorrow will also be another important number. How many do you think it would be for Liverpool? How many victories it would be in the Merseyside Derby?
Well, if we win tomorrow?
Yep.
All comps.
100.
Yep. That was a pretty easy one as a layup.
Mm.
A win would also mark Liverpool's 100th Merseyside Derby victory if we get one tomorrow, which is pretty incredible.
So that's still okay.
Yeah, because I mean, just as you said, 7 of the last 10 Goodison derbies have ended in draws.
Yeah. It's not tomorrow.
So that's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to be betting on the draw tomorrow.
Yep. All right, I asked these last. I have a couple other questions, but I'll make this the last question. All right. It's a two-part question. Who was the last player to score a hat trick in this derby at Goodison Park? And the second part of the question is, who was the last person to score a hat trick in this derby? Could be the same answer.
Last player to score a hat trick at Goodison.
It's got to be Russia. It's got
for them.
It's got to be Rushy. It's got to be Rushy. I know Kite scored 2. He never scored a hat trick.
For us, it'd be Rush. I don't know if someone scores one for them in the meantime. Trying to think back if anyone ever got a hat trick for them at Goodison against us.
No, not recently. 90s, no. All comps.
Yeah, stick with it, Rush.
Yeah.
I was just on the radio with me Evertonian mate. We were playing Sabutio. If you remember that, Sabutio.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's classic. Yeah, Sabutio.
Like this lad, and we were listening to it on the radio. He's an Everton fan, and we won 5-0. Rush got 4. I think it was 1982. In fact, it was. So that might be the last hat trick. 1982.
All right, good memory. That'd be correct. Scored 4 in the 5-0 win at Goodison Park. That was the last hat trick scored. The last hat trick scored at Goodison Park. What's the last hat trick scored at Anfield? Because that was the last. That was the last hat trick actually scored.
Was it Rush? Correct? Was it?
Rush was the answer for the first one.
Cool.
Who was the last person to score a hat trick in this game in this derby? Now, obviously, it's going to be. I'll give you the hint. It's going to be at Anfield.
The Suarez score.
He nearly did, didn't he? And he got his hat trick ruled out. That was a Goodison though, on it that night. That was a shame. That
Fucking Romano is coming out with the Darwin stories now.
Is he?
Yeah, mining a bit of old news.
Who was the last player to score? You should get the chat got this one too. KJ's on fire.
Oh no,
I remember Stevie's hat trick, wearing it at 2 pens.
3-0. Yeah. Was it 3-0? Wasn't it? Or 3-1 against Everton? Yeah. It's got to be Steve. Because I know Sturridge and Suarez didn't score in that 5-1. They didn't score a hat-trick. They scored 2. Can't remember who scored the other.
I can't remember Fowler scored and I had versus Everton either. So I'd say
Yeah. Yeah, we go Stevie G. I remember that game. Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
Stevie G would be correct.
Yeah, he was captain on it.
Yeah.
It was late in his career, and it was nice for him late in his career to get it hat-trick versus Everton. Like, it was buzzing that day.
2012 at Anfield. That's when Stevie G put 3 in to score all the goals on that day, actually, because it was 3-0. And he became the first player to score a hat trick in the Derby since Ian Rush in 1982, obviously previously mentioned. All right, people. That's about all. I have other questions, but I think that's about all of the trivia we can do for the day. So last bit of piece here. What's our score predictions? Who is our score predictions for this game? Let's get these last predictions in, and let's go around the horn. And just tell me when JK is back. Nalante.
Yeah.
Okay, JK, you're back. All right, then tell me what is your score and scorer predictions for this derby?
I'm gonna go with this is a tricky one, bro. I got 2 scores. I'm gonna pick out a 2-0 to us or a 5-1 to us. I'll go with the 5-1 to us. That's not just being over the top, confident and stuff. We're Liverpool Football Club, top of the league. Let's go and beat these guys.
Yeah.
And goal scorers, like for me, if Darwin starts, he's gonna get a goal. Salah will get a couple. And about time McAllister got one.
Okay. So McAllister getting one of those. All right. Nalante, who you got?
3-1. Gravy.
Gravy. Okay.
Gravy's gonna be gravy, man. He's finally gonna get his deserved goal. And it's gonna be Jota the Shotter and Harvey Elliott.
Shota and Harvey. Okay. I don't have a means of writing these down, so hopefully someone's recording this for us. And
All right, I'll write it down. I've wrote it down, so don't worry. Got the details.
Okay. Good.
I went with 5-1.
All right. Brian, what's your prediction for this one?
What's this tomorrow's game? Is it? I wasn't listening there.
Come on, Brian, give us the score.
What's the question? I'm gonna say what I said. I can't really predict this, but I think we will win it by a goal.
Yeah.
We'll win it by 1 goal, basically. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if we don't get the win there, because it's gonna be a bit special there tomorrow night. I think. Could be wrong. Been wrong 1,000 times before, but I take any kind of win out there. But we're not going there smashing up and 4-0, any of that nonsense. So I'll say, if I'm forced into prediction, 2-1. 2-1. So whoever's taking note of I'll officially say 2-1, but
Okay.
not overly confident.
2-1. All right. Lee, what's your score prediction?
3-1. 3 for us and 1 for them.
Okay. Everyone's being very, very generous, except for actually, you did have 5-1.
Yeah, I'm being generous, setting Everton on the score sheet. I didn't have to.
Didn't have to. You didn't have to. Definitely didn't have to.
Generous smooth.
All right. I have it being. My heart's telling me. My heart's telling me 4-0. My head is telling me 2-0. So I'll go with my heart on this one. Let's go with 4-0 for fun. Why not? get a little double revenge of the 2-0 defeat that we had to deal with last year. Go for 4-0 one. A lot of these games don't go that high. Obviously, I don't know if I said though. Did I ask you? I don't know if I asked you that as a trivia question or not. What was the highest score? The highest game between the two teams? I don't know if I asked that one. But a lot of these games don't really go that high when it comes to scoring.
I think I remember a 4-4.
I think it was 4-3. I think it was 4-3.
4-3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we will concede. I don't think we should concede against this Everton team. They are not a good team. They're a team that we should be able to still handle. I understand they're going to come out with a certain mindset, a little low block type approach. Even though who knows with the new coach now, behind the reins, he's certainly going to have them being mindful to defend. But that's why that's why my head is telling me 2-0. But my heart is telling me 4-0. As in, I think I have 4-0. I would like to see 4-0. In my heart, it's telling me 4-0, and there'll be a red card in this game as well. Everton will go down to 10 men, and that's why we'll end up.
I'm saying 3-1. I think the net will bulge 3 times, but I'm giving them a goal because it's the last Goodison Derby. I've got to throw them a few crumbs. Can't be totally heartless about it. They will be incredibly keen to. You've got to give their fans something. So what I will say though is that their goal will probably be an ugly one, a mistake, a travesty of justice. A miscarriage of justice or whatever, because we're heading for the clean sheet, and then it'll be some
War crime
at the back. Let in die run in and just guide it over the line or something.
They will, yeah. They'll get something. They'll get something, but it'll be offsides. So let's just keep it like that. And hopefully not be. It'll be reminiscent of the Mane call of the time that he was called offsides.
Origi's head is the best one because the way Pickford flapped his arms and that after he'd done it, and then he appealed to the lines. But in that, what for, mate? What are you appealing for? What did he do to you? Nothing. You did it yourself. You chose to do that. That was one of the all-time classic recent derby moments. That Origi's header. Jürgen certainly liked it, didn't he? He was on the pitch jumping up and down.
But I would have it being Lucho and Darwin in a 2-0, and if not, if we do go 4-0, I'll say Lucho, Darwin. I don't know if Chiesa is going to see the pitch this game. I'll go Lucho, Darwin. I'll go Ibu, and who's going to get that fourth goal? Lucho, Darwin, and if Chiesa gets off the bench, I'll give a Chiesa goal. So those are my predictions. There's our predictions. Hopefully you put your predictions in there. I saw, if Brian could bring up some of them, I saw KJ had a 4-2 from KJ. I think Jarvis had it 3-1. Goal ratio had it Bradley, Grav, and Ibu to score. Okay.
Jarvis Barris, that's a new name. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
No, that's it.
I think that's all. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, you got the scores, you got the predictions from us. You got a little bit of history, a little trivia to have some fun with. If you end up, sitting around, on a bar stool or on the couch or at the kitchen table, and drop some trivia, and 4-2, yes, 4-2 to us, of course, yes, definitely. Oh, he's got 2 goals being given to him. Okay. But yeah, let's hope that we can get this thing going tomorrow. We'll have
KJ saying, Goodison will somehow suck that ball into the net because
Yeah,
of the occasion alone. That's what I think most people.
We'll have a little pause.
Yeah, yeah. Roll call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll call for
definitely,
tomorrow.
Cool.
I don't know if I'll have my computer back in time for that game tomorrow, but I will. If so, you'll have to deal with the microphone setup as it is for right now for the roll call for tomorrow. And but I will have some type of setup for us tomorrow. But it is going to be a fun little matchup tomorrow. We've seen some teams lose today. Saw City drop another stinker. We've got our game at, let me double check too, at 7:30, right? So
Yeah, 7:30.
yeah, so we'll get the roll call going on at 6:30 tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit of an earlier approach to it than our normal 7 o'clock hour. But we'll get it going
UK
on.
time. 6:30 UK time if you're out there listening. Yeah. Jarvis Barris, a couple of new people in the chat. So 6:30 p.m. UK time tomorrow.
Yep.
Roll call for the match.
Yep.
We do an hour-long build-up. Everybody gives a shout and tells us what they're doing and where they're watching it from. Yep. Build it up and then come back later. Where match reaction doesn't stop.
And we'll also most likely do a match reaction afterwards, and also, hopefully it'll be a good one for us. We need these points. It'll be the last. Hopefully, it'll be the last time we'll have to say game in hand, and we can also just go on with the season and have to not have to worry about figuring out math problems to figure out how and what's going to happen with our current placement. And but if there's anything you'd like to say to the people before we bounce out of here, to some of the new people in the chat, to some of the OGs in the chat, do you have anything you want to say or anything you want to bring up before we bounce out? JK?
Enjoy the game tomorrow. 3 points a must. Don't want no drama. Because look at that Plymouth result. You want to go through that again? Not really. So support the team tomorrow, everyone. And bless up the chat as always. Press the like button as well if you can. And come on, you Reds.
That's right. Simple says, simple does. How about for you, Lee? Anything you want to say to the people?
Same as JK. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll have a positive outcome. And just thanks for being here and thanks for your contributions, everyone.
Okay. And Brian, something you want to say?
No, just to anybody out there is kind of thinking, blah, 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 don't miss this game tomorrow night. Do not miss this game tomorrow night, because regardless of what's happening, there's well over 100 years of football history between two of the greatest clubs ever to play the game, representing one of the biggest cities ever to represent the game. It's going to be played tomorrow night. It's the last time you're ever going to see it. It's a one-off. This is the last time this is ever going to happen. And these two cities have represented Liverpool all through the 80s, 60s, 70s. They've won a lot. We were the powerhouse. Don't ever forget that. It was never Manchester. It was always Liverpool. Forget about London. This is,
mate?
a home of football. So
Derby, right? And my dad's an Evertonian, but he won't be able to watch it because it's not on Sky. Although he's got Sky, it isn't even on fucking Sky tomorrow, so he won't even get to see the match, me dad.
Load of bullshit. Well, hook him up with a stream, man. Make sure, because anybody that cares anything about the game, this is something you can't miss. If you can't be there, I know your dad, he'll probably find some way of doing it, man. Hopefully.
No, what he'd have to do, he'd have to go out to a pub, but he wouldn't do that.
Right, yeah.
Like mid-70s, he you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even in the time, he wouldn't go in one go. But, it's shit that, innit? You'd think it'd be on Sky, but it isn't. Because I was talking to him about it before.
It'd be on probably TNT.
TNT, apparently. Yes, it's TNT. Yeah. It's TNT. It's on the BT one. Yeah, exactly. But that's a whole other conversation. But this is not one to be missed. This is not a game to be missed.
I'm looking forward to this one.
It's never going to happen again. It is never going to happen again. You will never see Liverpool Football Club play Everton at Goodison Park again.
Lane, Sky couldn't
It's
have
over.
this. You know
Give
what
me
I mean?
memories for Lee and his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our last dad. Daddy pays through the fucking nose for Sky as well. He did have BT for the season, but he only had it for a bit. It's dead expensive to have BT and Sky.
Well, be sure. Yeah. I would suggest if you can, definitely try to take in the game with your dad if you get the opportunity. Definitely be nice to do.
Yeah, that'd be special. Yeah.
Especially since he's an Everton fan.
Radio, couldn't we? Could listen to it on the radio and imagine what it looked like.
Yeah.
He won't be
It would be
asked.
old school way, but like I said,
He'll watch his own programs. My dad, I'll be able to see it if I want. I can go out if I want. My dad will have to watch one of his salvage programs, whatever the fuck it is he's watching. He likes all them ones.
Okay.
Salvage hunters. That's it. Where he find
Salvage hunters. Oh God.
Yeah, he's into what? Me dad.
Well,
but he's watching the derby, the last ever Goodison Derby.
I was just gonna say all the same. Hope that you get to watch it with one of your loved ones or a true red. All the same. Big up KJ. Big up KJ. Big up goal ratio. Big up to some other heads that were in the chat. Jarvis, who's a new participant. Shout out to Max, of course, as well as Mark and Abdul and anyone else. In case I missed anyone. I know True Don. I'm not sure. I'm sure if Bernie was here or not. But
Bernie was here. Red Armchair was here. True Don.
Jimmy
Bonkers. Honesty.
Yeah,
I saw Honesty. Yeah, that was big.
Marianne. Yeah.
That's Honesty. Yeah.
Yeah, big up. Shout out to Honesty. Thank you for the shout on
Cedric.
Shout on X, aka Marion was here too, by the way. But
Marion, Cedric.
Shout out to him for giving me a little bit of showing the love for my Eagles on Twitter for me. Give me a shout out for that as well. But yeah, Red Armchair supporter, obviously, as well. But a lot of good names, a lot of good people. Hopefully you're just one of many joining the ranks of our Liverpool Mighty Reds here that just want to have a community where we can speak openly and also be able to enjoy the sheer fact that we are the Mighty Reds. So big up to everyone that's there and going to be joining us tomorrow for the roll call. Hopefully you'll join us for that and for the match review. Be sure to tune in, bring a friend if you can. And Nolante, you want to say anything before we bounce out?
Just big up everyone. The OGs in the chat. The OGs keep OGing, and the newbies tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe to 12 Man Podcasts. Listen, man, 12 has been doing some incredible work. You know what I mean? Every day he's doing the calls for the club he loves, man. So yeah, man, tell a friend to tell a friend and let this channel grow and be blessed, and all of us, So just big up everyone. Newbies, welcome. We take on Liverpool fans and even rival fans. We're open to all. Constructive criticism, all about, peaceful, just respectful comments. And listen, man, of course I'm going to say this, but you won't get some of the sensible, just even discussions. We're not about clickbaiting like other podcasts. We're all about just giving the real opinion and agreeing to disagree if we disagree. So I'd just like to add that. And for tomorrow's game, I just want to leave it as this. Tomorrow, 7:30, the Reds play the Blues. 41 to 41, who will get number 42? Top of the league, slots machine will go on. If I get any drama, I might have to call my baby mama. Good night.
All right. There you go. Don't want that to happen. So we will certainly see you tomorrow. Everyone take care. Up the Reds. Be sure to take care of your loved ones and yourself, because it's important that by doing so, you can take care of your loved ones in your lives. And as always, again, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. We'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, take care.